We're live.
Good morning, darling. Good morning to you. Good morning, darling. Good morning to you.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Do, 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 do.
Oh, I can do you since ain't nobody in here. Good morning to Tracy. Good morning to you. Good morning to Tracy. I have missed you
Aw,
so
I missed
much.
you too. I missed everybody. I didn't realize because I thought to myself, ooh, good morning to Raven and Monique too. Good morning to Raven and Monique too. I didn't realize because I figured, I stay home all the time anyway. I didn't realize how much it really bothered me to really truly be stuck at home. And good morning, Chris. Oh, and Sonia too. Good morning, Chris. Oh, and Sonia too. Good morning, Michelle and Grayscale too. Good morning, Michelle and Grayscale too. That I thought, I don't leave the house anyway. What difference does it make? But you know what? It does make a difference. And I do leave the house because, right, and I usually do our grocery shopping together. And I go out and go to church every Sunday. And I am going on 5 weeks now of not being 4 weeks of not leaving the house at all. Maybe 5. I'm losing track.
I know.
And it's just really starting to grate on my last nerve.
Yep. And that's why I just went to Walmart. And we just kept our distance from anybody, didn't get too close to people around us. And had hand sanitizer in the car since my glove tore the other day. And I'm like, we'll just do that. I liked it that when we went in, before I got the buggy, the guy wiped it down with the sanitizers.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That's
was
what
like,
they've been
thank
doing at our
you.
grocery store too. That's kind of nice that they wipe every buggy down. Good morning, Ramblin' Hick. Good morning to you. Good morning, Ramblin' Hick. Good morning to you.
It's almost like when you're told to stay inside. You're like, because when you're a kid and you want a nap, you don't want a nap. I don't want to take a nap. I don't want to take a nap. But then when you get grown and you're at work, you're like, oh my gosh.
I'll give anything for a nap.
Oh, I would nap sometimes. And I'd try to keep my job. And then I thought, oh, if I was just home, I'd nap. And hardly ever I have to really be feeling bad for me to fall asleep during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but Ramblin' Hick, I am fine this morning. I am up and vertical, and God is good.
Mm-hmm. God is a blessing.
Josie, good morning.
Good morning to Josie. Good morning to you. Good morning to Josie. Good morning to you.
Josie is up early this morning.
Yes, she is.
But I was so glad when I saw Tracy said she needed some fun and she needed to come on. I was like, yay!
It was one of those things where, oh, Josie said she couldn't sleep. I'm sorry, Josie. I haven't been sleeping well.
I've had nightmares.
Elevated, yeah, and I have like anxiety that I don't normally have, but I decided that, you know what, I'm in pain whether I'm up and talking to you guys or not, but I'm in more pain when I'm not because I don't have then I'm more alone and more stuck in myself and in my own head. So it was like I have to get up and get moving and do something.
Sonia! Girl! Your ankle went out from underneath her.
Oh, no.
Girl, Sonia.
Sonia, that's not good.
I swear you're kin to me and Tracy and Denise. And
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We'll have to
Oh,
watch
man,
it
you
when
both.
we're done.
I'm here.
Denise, Sonia had a fall. Sonia fell yesterday or
What?
today. Her time.
Oh no.
She
Yeah.
said
Oh my
her
gosh.
ankle went out from underneath her. She bruised her bum cheek, sprained ankle, and landed on her sore shoulder. She said, so she's feeling old. Girl,
Got to be careful.
Monique,
Oh my
Joe just tells
gosh.
it as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe just tells it as it is. And Sonia,
Yes, she does.
I did not realize how loud the Keurig is until I had these on and I could hear Casey in the kitchen doing the Keurig. I'm like, what? Was it that loud? How could anybody hear me over that Keurig in there? Oh, Monique, you need to check Joe out. Is it still where you can't just click the dots? Look, they need to fix that.
Yeah, they do.
I meant to tell them yesterday.
For sure.
It's what Christians and no Christians. You know, it's not in today's world with all the things that are going on and all of the turmoil that it's causing with all of this stuff going on. It's not time to hide under a rock about our Christianity. We need to broadcast it loud and clear.
So true.
Well, heck, Sonia, I'm probably going to have a big old bruise on my knee where I just hit the,
Oh, yeah, you whacked it hard.
ooh, wee, it hurt.
Good morning, Leticia. Good morning to you. Good morning, Leticia. Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
I've been falling more and more
Good morning.
regularly, and my husband has been noticing, and my ex-sister-in-law, who is, it's kind of, my brothers at one point in time were married to sisters, and my little brother's still married to one of the sisters, and the other sister that my older brother used to be married to, she bought a house and it had a handicap ramp on it that she wanted to remove, and they knew that I was going to be needing one, so he went out there and disassembled that in a couple of pieces and brought it to my house. So now we got to get our deck built so that I can put that ramp on, which is what we've been saving our money for anyway, to build a deck and a ramp so that I can get my rolling walker down without falling down the steps like I did last summer.
Yep.
Good morning, Darlene B. Good morning to you. Good morning, Darlene B. Good morning to you.
Just don't slip on the ramp because that's what I did. Slipped on that ramp. And Darlene B., I had my laptop open, and when I saw your high school picture, I said, oh, look at Darlene. Look at Darlene. Keith said, oh, yeah, I saw it. He sees things way before I see them. But Darlene had the wings going on, too. We graduated, I think, the same time.
That was the thing, that Farrah Fawcett, just in the front little
Here.
bed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Grayscale, if you were still in here, I was talking about you earlier. I was talking about that beautiful painting you did. And I mean, anybody, they'd have to say, well, which one? But it was the one, the Wednesday night tutorial. And it was so pretty. I didn't listen. I didn't get to listen to the sound, but I got to sit there and just watch it come alive. That's the way I think of it. You guys, if anybody just wants to kick back and just watch something at bloom, it was like the flowers bloomed in front of you. You know how you do those fast forward things that shows a seed and goes all the way to the flower? Well, that's how it felt watching him paint those flowers yesterday. It's like they just bloomed on out right in front of you. Oh,
That is so cool.
Hey, wait. Willow's on Facebook. Willow?
Good morning to
Hey,
Willow. Good morning to you. Good morning to Willow. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Willow, I thought I saw you on Facebook. Sonia?
I get it. I get it, Sonia. Good morning to Myra. Good morning to you. Good morning to Myra. Good morning to you.
I do, Joe.
Hey, everybody.
I did put on that this morning. Joe?
I feel like
Hello.
Sonia said she's only 43. She shouldn't be having falls like that. And I think of that like that too. And I think I'm only 56. I mean, I used to think 56 was old, but I don't feel like it's that old now. Darn it.
Willow, to me, because she says she's trying to figure out, she's never been on Facebook Live. To me, YouTube is more interactive because you see everybody in their comments. So I like it better on actual YouTube than I do on Facebook Live. Well, heck, I was trying to think at 43. I think that is when a lot of stuff started happening, Sonia, to me. Because my RA just took off like wildfire. And I was trying to exercise and do stuff. And I even would get up at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning
I'll be
and go
back.
and go to the gym. And, my energy level, none of that was the same. Oh, why can't you use your laptop? Willow says she can't chat on her laptop on YouTube. I wonder why.
That's interesting.
I know. Well, you could have 2 tabs, Willow, and at least you could see what people are saying on here, and I could tell them what you're saying. So, just like what you just said then, because I watch both. I don't know how I do that, but I guess left brain. She says, I don't know. It went wacky doodle on her.
Myra said she was after them 48 and after it hit her. I was in my early 40s when stuff started going bazonkers with me, I can tell you, because that's when I had my fall. I would have been, let me think, fell down the stairs. It was like 19. Yeah, it would have been like 43.
Well, I had sleep apnea and gained all that weight. And then when I started work, I really tried to, get up, get out, and exercise and do that stuff. And I really tried. And I would even do the leg presses, which now thinking about it, I sitting there in a seat that was good for my back, but doing 90-pound push with, I'm sure that wasn't too good on my knees and stuff, but I didn't know. I really didn't know what was what was wrong internally. You can't see rheumatoid. You can't see all that stuff.
Right.
And so I was doing the leg presses. I was doing the shoulder pulls, and I was doing the things. I was doing all that, trying to be better.
Good morning to Craig. Good morning to you. Good morning to Craig. Good morning to you.
It's so good, Myra, to see you back. I'm so glad. Tony, which is Grayscale Painting, before everything started going haywire with me, I would have times of insomnia. My family were always stay up late, sleep in until my sister in Florida had a job that she had to get up real early, super early, and then I ended up taking an early morning shift. Kevin said, "You'll never be able to get up," and I did, but I'd be asleep by 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So your body gets used to that. But last night, even after I took my medicine, my brain didn't want to shut down. And I'm like, I got to get up early in the morning. But my brain absolutely did not want to shut down.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Food Forest. Good morning to you. Good morning, Food Forest. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Food Forest Permaculture. I said it this morning.
You
All
did
right.
good.
Willow says, I've checked every function on this thing and I can't figure out why. This laptop has Windows 10. I think that's what I got. And apparently some of them go nuts after a while. This one did. And I think this is probably the culprit.
Uh-oh.
Were you able to get spinal injections, Traci?
Not yet. Hopefully Tuesday.
She was scheduled for April 28th, and they called her yesterday and moved it back to May 19th.
I'm scheduled for the 21st, and so far they haven't canceled. So, good morning to John. Good morning to you. Good morning to John. Good morning to you.
Well, she said wacky doodle. John. Willow on Facebook said wacky doodle. Wait, did she say wacky doodle?
Aw.
I'm pretty sure she said wacky doodle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, if that's happening, Tony, I believe that they should.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they should give it away. But
good morning to Misha. Good morning to you. Good morning to Misha. Good morning to you.
Oh, all right. Sonia said, not Sonia. Willow said, whack a doodle.
Wackadoodle.
I thought it meant wacky doodle. Oh, the 21st is happy birthday to John.
Aw.
So let me write that down, John. I like to keep
that's
up
going to
with
be a good day,
birthdays.
hopefully I'll get a shot and you'll have a birthday. I'll be right back. I'll just be gone a second.
And that's going to be Tuesday. '21st. Yes.
Hopefully. The last time I had an appointment with them, they called and confirmed, and then the very next day they called and canceled. And they did call and confirm Tuesday for my appointment next Tuesday, which is a little early for them to call and confirm, but they did. And so far, knock on wood, they haven't called and canceled. So I'm going to call there today or tomorrow just to make sure that they really are seeing people so that I don't get my hopes up for nothing.
Sonia, when I was, let me see, when I was 30, before they gave me Paxil, that was after that happened to my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was 30, and Casey, I think I had Casey at 29, but my mind wouldn't shut off. I'd be laying in bed and I would be thinking of, I'd be laying there trying to make myself go to sleep. And I'd think, let me see, if we knocked out this wall and incorporated these two, and I mean, I would be absolutely redoing my whole house. In my head, I would just be, it would not stop. So I would get up sometimes, and Kevin has woke up, and I'd sitting on our couch around. I'd have all the laundry folded and just sitting there, and he'd say, "You haven't been to bed, have you?" I said, "No, I just couldn't sleep." Or I would be outside watering the grass, just, No, that wasn't sleepwalking. I do have a problem with sleepwalking, but yeah, they put me on Paxil because I went to my doctor and told him what happened with my brother, and I told him I couldn't sleep. My brain wouldn't cut off. And I asked him, was that kind of depression, did it run in families? And he said, yes. And he told me it's he said that it's a chemical imbalance.
Good morning to Beth. Good morning to you. Good morning to Beth. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Beth. So, yeah, I had that going on. And plus, I told him I was sleepwalking again. So he put me on Paxil, and that's when I blew up 100 pounds. And he'd never told me. I kept gaining, and he never told me that was a side effect. Then me and Kevin got turned down for insurance from Blue Cross Blue Shield. Like, he drove a truck, and we were going to just get personal insurance. And they said I had to lose 50 and he had to lose 75. So the doctor put us on something to help us lose weight. No, if I sat down, I'd go to sleep. It really did not help me. But when that doctor looked over my meds, he said, wow, you're on Paxil, you know that causes you to gain weight. And nobody ever said that. So I just stopped it that day. And nobody told me you cannot just stop it.
Good morning to Deborah. Good morning to you. Good morning to Deborah. Good morning to you.
Good morning. So, you guys, I'm glad I'm still here because I found out later how bad just stopping that medicine is. And so I'm more conscious of what I'm taking and what it does. And that's why Traci, I told Casey, I said, Casey, they need to do something because you ain't supposed to just boom, stop everything. Having a 24-hour live stream. Oh, all right, so you're doing a live stream on the 22nd. I'm going to write that down, Food Forest. So if you pop in here, you can tell everybody that you're doing a 24-hour live stream. Because this don't tell, real tiny. I mean, that says Earth Day.
Oh, my goodness.
Really? I write it bigger. If I don't write it down, I forget. Okay. I got that wrote down. Yeah, Sonia, I didn't know. And that's what I told Casey yesterday about. I was worried about Traci. I said, some things I just had to tell them about one of mine. I said, I called the person that told me they can't schedule the appointment, and I just said, hey, I'm just telling you, that keeps me from walking in my sleep, and it plainly says you cannot just stop this medication. That's what I told them. So
that's just it. They want you to see the doctor before they'll refill your prescriptions, but they won't let you see the doctor because it's not emergency situation right now with all the other stuff that's going on. And it's like, this is getting to be an emergency at this point.
For you, it is.
And I can't function.
You guys, the topic that I picked today, sometimes that's why, and thank you, Myra. I forget about that. Okay. I got to do the thing that Diana Brianna says. Please like, subscribe, and share. Share this video. That's what she told me to say. Oh, but you know, the tempo that we're doing right now, and I thought of the musical note, how the melodrone or whatever it's called, it just goes back. And is it that? Okay. I was in the band, but I couldn't remember. But you have a certain, you stay in a rhythm. And with everything going on right now, it's kind of either going too fast in your head, or it's putting us in a we can't function.
Exactly.
So that's why I really took a lot of time to, probably too much, because Keaton said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to find the right thing." And so I couldn't find the perfect little melodrome, but when I seen this, it's in the background, which is the thumbnail of the music and the heartbeat, I figured that most everybody would understand that right now we're kind of in that tempo. And God's wanting us to be leveled out, but it's up to us how, for us to do it. So that's why I picked that scripture, because he bears our daily burdens. We carry them sometimes when we don't need to. But
exactly.
that's easy for me to say today, because I got a new chair. I can sit in this chair much better. I'm not all kind of hunched over that I didn't realize I was doing. And not, I'm up. Yesterday I was able to come on, but for a few days I was on the backswing. I mean, just, couldn't, as Traci said, couldn't even human.
Yep.
Could not even human.
Started feeling myself sliding into that funk. You can't. I mean, I have to stop and think about the things I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that God gave me another day, and I'm thankful that nobody in my immediate family has gotten sick. And I'm thankful that my husband is a kind and loving man, and that I'm not living with someone who is abusive and stuck in a home where somebody is beating me every day, which there are people that are in that situation right now. And there's just so many things that all my friends here that I can talk to. And it's like, why are you sitting here feeling sorry for yourself and your pain being increased when you have so much to be thankful for? That's just silly to sit and waste life.
But sometimes it's so hard to get up. Even though somebody special,
some days.
even though somebody very, very special to me in the chat did send me a message and told me never go back to bed. And I knew what that meant. So Traci, you can't go back to bed. And you guys, that means how I stayed in bed for almost 3 years. I'm not saying that I never got up. I did. But emotionally, I would go back to my room and close off.
Yeah. Oh, Sonia, that's so sweet. It is hard, and it's hard that, the thing for me that feels the most difficult is there's no definitive end to this, that it's an open-ended thing right now, and they can't tell us when it's going to be over. They can't say on May 1st, like they'd like to say, everything's going to go back to a normal. I don't think that that's realistic. I'd like to think that we can, but I just don't think that's realistic. And some of us have been in our homes and haven't left. I have not left my home since the middle of March, and here it is the middle of April, and sit here every day.
All right. Willow said, yep, those were chronic pain or other situations where you have to see the doc to get refills or other treatments are in a catch-22.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
That's exactly right.
And so you do learn to, all right, I've learned that, yes, I'm going to hurt, but I won't be going to the pain doctor again because there's nothing they could do. So what I did when it hurt, you guys, when I moved the chair in here, I did not realize the setup that the way I was sitting, it was hurting me so bad. Oh, swamp picker.
Good morning to Glenn. Good morning to you. Good morning to Glenn. Good morning to you.
Glenn, how is your back? Because swamp picker, which is Glenn, he has chronic back issues as well. So let us know, Glenn, how are you feeling?
Right, Deborah. That's what I've been hearing too, that domestic violence has been going up very sharply, that because people are being, in a sense, trapped with their abuser, and everybody is experiencing a upset of their normal routine and of their normal life right now, and a little bit of turmoil. And somebody who leans towards being abusive, it doesn't take a whole lot to set them off, and just being off your normal routine.
Okay, here I am.
Good morning,
I'm
Josie.
still in my bathrobe, by the way.
Okay, you look.
Oh, I like that bathrobe. If you had not said anything, I would have thought you was fancy with us this morning.
Oh, I thought, well, I don't care. No one's seen me in my bathrobe before. Who cares? Huh?
Well, no, we don't. Like I said, it's fancy to me. You and your leopard. Look. You need to show a little bit more of the leopard print. I like that. I would never look. How pretty.
Oh, that is very pretty. People have committed suicide because they can't handle being alone, and I'll be honest with you. I'm a little bit concerned about my own mental health. With if I can't get that injection on Tuesday that I've been counting on, and my pain has been out of control, that I am thankful that I have friends and a supportive husband and a Lord and Savior that will get me through. Because if I didn't have that, I don't know if I could make it through.
Don't make me have to put on the mask and buy a plane ticket and come up there.
Yeah. You don't have to. I have. Aw.
My arm.
Glenn.
Thank you for sharing, Glenn. See, people really don't know, Glenn, what people are going through. You know, we all are suffering with something, or I always say we wouldn't all be here.
Right.
You know, like we're doing now.
Well, we weren't promised a rose garden, that's for sure.
Nope.
Well, you don't know what it feels like to live somebody else's life unless you have lived their life.
That's what my video, I'll just say a little bit about it. What I did is I made a video on Christians and non-Christians and how us Christians should be an example. And in our actions, you know, no wonder people say, oh, if that's a Christian, I don't want to be one.
Right.
So this was really weighing on my mind, and I know it'll cause controversy, and that's fine. It's on my second channel, and I don't worry about it. But I just don't understand the attitudes nowadays, the fears, and people being so rude and greedy. And so anyway, I think it turned out okay.
Well, look, if I could do a video about how nasty the pretzel Pop-Tarts. Look, they weren't that bad. Well, when you don't have nothing else, just if anybody buys them, just don't heat them and don't think they're going to be crispy pretzels. Some people like soft pretzels. I don't. But if you do, then yes, buy them. So if I could do my hair, dye my hair online, show a video, you could put anything you want, Joe.
Well, my one remark too is one nice thing about getting old, it gives you a freedom. You can say whatever you please and you don't care. And I never thought I'd say that because I've heard elderly people say that when I was young. And now I understand. It's a freedom that I wish we would get when we were young.
Look, I started saying mean old ladies were mean when they were younger. That's what, well, and this is another thing I say, is I know now what caused mean old ladies. Putting up with the husband all those years. Then the husband mellows out and they're like, oh, we love Keithan so much. I don't know why Darlene's so snappy and acts like she does. Because, yeah, that's my bedroom.
No, I think sometimes older people, maybe excuse me, my allergies today.
Mine too.
Tongue when we were young. We didn't say things that maybe we wanted to say. And you finally get to the point, well, who cares? You're going to say what's on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually feels good.
Willow said, hey, Josie. She's on Facebook. YouTube's not letting her comment on YouTube. It's acting crazy. All right, Food Forest.
YouTube has been doing
Thank
crazy
you for
things.
doing all the wonderful things you are doing, Food Forest, Howie. We appreciate you.
I think Denise's allergies got her eye, because you know how sometimes it'll feel like a blood vessel when your allergies is real bad. And so Denise, she's struggling with her eye bothering her. But Joe, my allergies, I actually thought I had the other thing that we can't mention by name. I really thought I had it, but I didn't run a fever. And then I thought, well, we do have
that's kind of my point. You know, our society's become in a panic, and where's our faith? Where's our faith? Bring it back. I think sometimes when we're stressed, we're more apt to get something.
We talked about this morning, didn't we, Traci, before we came on? We talked about that because my body can't handle stress and Casey's can't. So, and
it makes us sick. And, you know, everyone has fears. I mean, the Bible even has verses in there about human, you know, we're going to have fears. But I've never seen, in my 79 years, I've never seen this country in such a panic. And we just need to pray. We just need to stick together and not turn against each other, which, I mean, I was shocked when I went shopping the other day and I didn't see one person smile. And there wasn't many people in the store, but somebody sees you coming down the aisle and it's like they run the other way. I mean, it's just like, we're in a war here.
And it's not like that here. When I went in Walmart by myself Friday, I think I'm frozen on.
Yeah, you are frozen, at least.
I
think you're frozen.
Let me see. Am I still frozen? I'm frozen.
Yeah, you are.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it just upsets me as a Christian. You know, we need to be an example.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm. That's what upset me yesterday. Michigan made the national news because people in Michigan were protesting. They didn't like the latest round of restrictions that the governor put in place to try to flatten the curve, so to speak. And they were protesting by clogging the streets in the Capitol. And originally, the protest was planned for them to be in their vehicles and block the streets in their vehicles, which was all fine and dandy. They have a right to their First Amendment rights to protest, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't just leave it at that. They started getting out of their vehicles and they started congregating places like on the lawn of the Capitol and places like that. And they weren't wearing masks and they weren't wearing gloves and they weren't social distancing. And they possibly could have made it worse, that we may have to stay in this posture longer because they may have made a poor decision to spread this even further.
True. But, we're also not hearing about all the recovery. And if you do some research, there is thousands of people that have recovered, and we're not hearing about that because the media doesn't want us to.
Well,
they are
I've
starting to say
noticed
that in Michigan, but we have like 29,000 cases, positive cases in Michigan, and just under 450 that have recovered.
we have Patricia Ann on Facebook.
Good morning, Patricia Ann. Good morning to you. Good morning, Patricia Ann. Good morning to you.
Well, when I went in Walmart Friday, I seen somebody I used to work with, and we stayed the length of the aisle, and I said, air hug at her, but the more we got to talking, the closer she got, and I told her, I said, look at this glove. What good is this? Because it was tore.
Mm-hmm.
So I just put hand sanitizer in the car, and I'm like, it's not that I don't believe things are going on, but I just have to feel normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I use hand sanitizer. I wash my hands a million times.
Yep.
I wear a mask when I go into a store. But
I was afraid. I've got a bunch of stuff to mail out, and I've been waiting. And then I'm like,
I get my stuff out, and
I was like, well, let me make sure that before I do that I'm not sick. But the window, we've been using the window fan, and it's been so fresh air and all that, but also it's bringing in pollen and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you cough or sneeze right now, everybody looks at you like,
oh my gosh, I've been sneezing my head off.
And I have GERD, with the esophagus, and so it's hot.
When I take Bailey out, I had to get her a new leash that would hold up to 100 pounds. But the other leash, it would just like drag because I let her have her space, and it was like it would just drag. And I was like, oh my gosh! And it was everything in the grass was just going all in the air. And I'm like, I need to put on a mask when I take her out. I need to cover my face. But she comes in and gets on our bed. Casey comes in and loves all over, and then he suffers because he'll get, no joke, his skin will break out with little blisters.
Oh, really?
All because of loving on Bailey.
Really? Oh, that's awful.
That pollen, I'm telling you, I never, like I said, I have heard of pollen and I've actually seen pollen, but when I lived in the Southeast for those 2 years and experienced that greenish yellow pollen that falls all over everything this time of year, that was just horrendous.
What I'm really allergic to is cottonwood. The white flowers.
Yeah, we get a lot of that here.
Oregon, there was lots of cottonwood.
Mm-hmm.
And I can be around it for a second or two, and thank goodness it never bothered my breathing, but I get an instant headache. And when I took the allergy test, cottonwood was one of the ones that showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And where I live now, there's no cottonwood, but I'm allergic to other things. So
We have cottonwood enough
Did you-
in Michigan that sometimes in the fall when the cottonwood is blowing, it'll look like a snowstorm.
Did you
Yeah.
sing to Misha?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I don't know where my mind was, Misha. You know how I am.
Sonia still hasn't got her dad's results yet.
Oh, Willow said her too, Josie. This is the Cottonwood State, no less.
yeah,
Well, when I did a test, allergy test, when, oh my gosh, I think I did it right about time me and Kevin got together, because that's when I was put on Zyrtec, and I thought I was allergic to Kevin. But I mean, I was working in the cotton mill too now.
oh wow,
So they tested me, and I'm like, I wondered why when we'd go fishing, I would start getting a headache. It'd be like these little county lakes or these people that would have a catfish pond, and I would get the worst headache, and I couldn't figure it out. Well, I'm allergic to pine trees. I'm allergic to cedar trees. I'm allergic to grass. It's like I'm allergic to everything.
we need to be in a glass bubble, huh?
So, I took Claritin because it helped me stay awake. And the doctor told me, he said, well, I loved the way he talked, but he said, no Claritin. He said, does nothing for this, because I'd break out. So
I refuse. I just deal with my allergies. I know the doctor suggested I take something, but I won't, because I end up having more side effects with medication.
I take Zyrtec every night. Been taking it since I was 30, or a little bit more. Yeah, right about 30. But in the daytime, I've got me some Benadryl, generic Benadryl.
Yeah.
It does not put me to sleep. It works the opposite. So with me, I can take one and help with maybe the headache and the crazy stuff. But that's what with especially with me and Traci, and a lot of you with chronic pain, when they start naming the symptoms, and even when it's flu season, are you achy? Yeah.
Yeah, I make you every day.
Are you having trouble breathing? Yeah. I've had to use my inhaler, but that could be allergies too. So
yeah. So see, that's the thing that people, they're in a panic. Well, half of the symptoms that are occurring right now, and I won't say the word, are symptoms that come on with a million other diseases and conditions.
Yeah.
And so, don't freak out. Just be cautious. And sometimes, running it right now, I wouldn't go to a doctor's office. I went to the cardiologist's office because, sick people don't go in there. And it was for my legs anyway. But as far as going to a primary doctor, to me, it would have to be totally an emergency, because you're going to be exposed to.
Right. That's why I'd like, with the pain clinic, you can't get injections or treatments for your chronic pain if you're sick with a normal type of illness. So it's the same type of thing. Sick people don't normally go there.
Right.
So I feel like it should be okay.
Yeah.
Well, MawMaw was worried about, she's diabetic, and has had a lot of problems with her feet, and she's now so scared about the toe that we've been having to watch after. And she's kind of scared about it, but the podiatrist is closed. And so Kevin looked at it, or I'll look at it, and, in fact, we have pictures so we can visually see if there's any changes.
Yeah.
And because anytime if MawMaw gets an infection in a toe, you guys might not think it. See, Willow's Jennifer Hayes is on Facebook.
Good morning to Jennifer. Good morning to you. Good morning to Jennifer. Good morning to you.
But anyway, a toe is not just a simple thing, not for MawMaw, because
No, when you're a diabetic, you have to be really careful with, you know.
and they did
She
tell
has
her, you know,
COPD, and she's diabetic, and I mean, heavens.
yeah, and any infection,
Yeah, any infection, even on a finger, an arm,
Yep.
whatever, you know, any infection.
but they did tell her if that flared up or something happened to that you have to remove all of them, which you can still walk.
Yeah,
But still, I mean, so you guys pray for MawMaw, because
you will.
I'm still froze, I think, but
You go in and out. You're
look.
All right. I will be right back. I've got to get me something to munch on. I will be right back.
But yeah, I was, you know, I have lymphedema, which is not curable, and you just learn to live with it. And there's a really good massage therapy that helps.
Now, what is that? It's sort of, it feels like
one of your lymph nodes do not function, and it can be genetic, which in my case it is, because I've never had people who have had chemo who are battling cancer. That sometimes destroys their lymph nodes. But they have a really good massage therapy, and I got okayed to get the therapy, and then they closed. So
yeah. I think if I could go once a month and have a complete massage by somebody that knows what they're doing, deep tissue, and if Kevin would go, and if they would really work on his shoulders and back and neck area,
it really works.
Yes,
it really does. If I could have, I've always said if I could afford that, I'd have one once a week.
Yep.
A best friend of my daughter-in-law, she does that professionally, and I've had a massage from her, and it's amazing. It does help, but it's expensive.
Yeah, it is. Sonia, with the emergency rooms the way they are, yeah, we probably would have to take her. But then they're, you know, an emergency room would think, well, it looks okay. I don't see nothing wrong with it. But there has to be a number. I'd have to look. There would have to be a number in case of emergencies, because there are times that he has went into the office just for somebody, you know. So I believe he would open the office just to see her if it was bad, or if we felt like it was bad. Yeah. I know he would.
Here they're just, you know, they're telling you to call ahead of time and you know, tell them your condition or what's going on. Like even if you're going to the ER or to your physician's office. So, but yeah, I think pretty soon things will open up at least a little bit. I'm not sure we're going to go back to what it was, but then even in my video, I said maybe that's a good thing because we weren't headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I think with this happening, more people are actually praying and maybe thinking about their mortality.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's a good thing.
Good thing, Myra. Yes. I need to call to see if they have a number, or I can look them up online and see if they have a number. And I could take a picture on my phone with her toe and email it to him. So I didn't even think about that. I sure didn't. Thank you. I'm telling you guys, Myra comes up with some ideas. I told her sometimes she's the best researcher out there while we're doing our doing this.
We're chatting and just being do, and Myra's getting down to the nitty gritty and getting all the good information for us.
And I'm just running off at the mouth.
Oh, you are not, Josie.
Oh, Joe.
Just tell me, slow down.
Look, you're like getting me and my sisters together. And it would be like, we were loud. Kevin said one time, I can't handle your loud family. And I said, well, I can't help it. There was 6 kids and then aunts and uncles, and you had to talk louder and louder, and we were all loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Deborah. Okay. Deborah said she has to get ready to go to work. Well, Deborah, you have a blessed day.
Deborah.
Have a blessed day.
Be safe.
Hey, Ruth's Truth. Hey.
Good morning to Ruth. Good morning to you. Good morning to Ruth. Good morning to you.
All right. I made a note about checking, looking that doctor up. You know, Denise, I guess I have. Keithan's more laid back than me about some stuff. I've been I don't freak out too much. Hey, Gary. Good morning. Good morning. You better shut that door.
Good morning.
No, that's
Gary. Good morning to you. Good morning to Gary. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Gary. No, that is my husband, Joe. He's doing Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. His work days. So it's been weird to keep up with his.
Good morning to Ian and Kale's Riot's Mommy too. Good morning to Ian and Kale Riot's Mommy too. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning to you. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning. Yes, that every now and then my husband in there will mock me.
Oh.
He'll mock me and aggravate me. And I don't know why. Look, I don't know. Let me look at my speed while you ladies talk and see what's going on with it. Joe.
Rebecca, how are you doing?
Casey. All right, look at my speed when you finish.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, considering that it's connected to a router.
Okay. And what about the upload? What's it?
First whoop, boy. Hey, I'm gonna get my cash.
Nice to see you, Rebecca.
It is. I don't get to see you as much on here.
Oh, 2 inches of snow.
Oh my
Where
gosh.
are you at? 2 inches of snow. We had
Ian
snow.
said I'm frozen, so upload. Are those normal?
Yeah, that's what I get on mine.
And then I'm freezing and I'm. So is it my computer or the internet?
You got to remember, everybody and their mama in Lynette is on the internet right
yeah.
I hear Casey.
All right, let me. Okay, I'm back now.
Buffalo, New York had 2 inches of snow. We had it in Michigan the last couple of days, so maybe it moved your way.
There you go. Kevin's showing off his cup, you guys. Alabama.
Roll Tide. Is Traci live?
Yeah, we're all live.
Mm-hmm.
I sure am glad to see her.
Aw, thank you, Steven.
Bless her heart.
Sonia, hush. Yes, I froze with my mouth open. Casey said, "Don't nobody say they're glad to see him."
Had the heat off and windows open to snow.
Casey, would you bring me some waters? I need about 3.
So Casey's working now, right?
They've got them working. Oh, you said Casey or Kevin?
Casey.
He tried on a job, but what is it? Why are you laughing at me? Lord have mercy, guys. No, he started one Joe.
Yeah.
And the card or whatever they sent him, when he would use that, it would do robotic. And you can't do that. And then people, like the lack of professionalism, and I'm talking about it was for like a bank. People would be talking to you. In the class, there'd be people not muting their mics and hollering at their kids, and I'm telling you, Casey's just I said, well, son, and he kept sending messages because there was something else he needed and they didn't send that he needed to work for them. And I said, well, don't stress it. Don't do it. I said, there'll be something else sent your way. You know, I'm like this. If God has something for you to do, you're going to have to do what he wants you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever you try to do is not going to work. If that makes sense. If that makes any sense. Yeah. So I told him, I said, until God's ready for you to get the right job or to work, you know, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Denise.
I wish you'd get back to Bible study.
That's what I told him. That's why I told him. And Denise is so much, her life is so much like mine that I understand, and where she came from and how she felt.
But you both are so special. You really are, and I'm not just saying that to make you feel good.
I know, because you don't say nothing you don't mean.
Good, loving qualities. Don't ever let anyone make you feel you're not special. You know?
And, you know, not being accepted by her mother-in-law hurt her a lot.
Yeah.
And the way she, I don't know if she's still with them or not, but I'm lucky. I'm blessed. So, you know, I have MawMaw.
I think about that.
My mother didn't like me either because I wasn't obese like she was. I was always tiny. I didn't believe in the psychic stuff like she did. And so she didn't like me. That's okay. Not everybody can like us. Sometimes even our own parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I went through that. What was you going to say, Traci?
I said, I think about what Denise went through with her mother-in-law, and when I'm having the issues that I've had the other day with my daughter-in-law, and I try to, I'm not going to let her walk all over me. I'm not going to let her steamroll me, and I am going to be the parent, but I also try to give her the benefit of the doubt and not be obnoxious and not be rude and be pleasant and be a Christian and be accepting, but I'm not going to take abuse either.
Yeah. Well, you know, every now and then you guys hear me, I'll say, oh no, I say, oh, there's my grandbaby daddy, because that's what we'd say when we worked together. It's my daughter's ex-husband, but he'll jump on Facebook sometimes. And whew, we had our time, because, and then I just come off Paxil, and that wasn't just it. That, I mean, things, he was young, they were young. I mean, 18, and he might have been 19. And he was okay until, you know, Toot come along, and it was like my wife and my baby, but you living in my house. You know, it's across the street, but yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, me and him, we had our rounds, and I remember one time he had his phone.
And then you intentionally did the comment thing in the toilet, right?
Yes.
It hurt him.
He thought I was sabotaging him, but you know, I can say it because he put it on Facebook one time. It said, my daughter put it, she said, if something in your life could be a horror movie, what would it be? Hey, Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. Oh, good morning to you. Good morning, Michelle. Oh, good morning to you.
And when I was looking through all the comments, and when I seen his comment, and it said, comment on the toilet, I was like, oh no, he put it public. Thank goodness, because I can talk about it now. I bust out laughing, and I'd call Tiffany, and I said, I can't believe he put that public. I said, that's so funny. But he thought I was sabotaging him for getting my daughter pregnant. No, I wasn't. But no, he put a phone. He was filling his oats, you know. He had a baby and a wife now, and he done put a phone up in my face, like, and I did. I slapped that phone. It was in my face. Shouldn't have been here. But I slapped that phone, and it went flying. So my daughter said, Mama, why did you attack him and break his phone? So God had to work. God had to work in he and I. He had to work in both of us. And
see, that's the one thing that I think about. I'm trying to do the right thing, and I'm trying to be Christian, and I'm trying to be civil, and I'm trying to do the right thing, but I'm not going to take, it has to be both ways. I'm not going to take being treated like a piece of dirt either.
It does have to go both ways.
It goes both ways.
Because you have to have respect. The person has to be respectful. Because Traci, I've been around you long enough that we've talked about a polite way of trying to say something. And if they're just not going to be respectful and everything, there's no talking to somebody like that. Denise, let me see. Myra said her daughter's fragile health, and I understand what it is to be an advocate and caregiver. Yes, and I think that's why Myra loves Casey, because she knows, and you guys know, that when it comes down to it, he takes care of me and MawMaw. And there's, you know, until he has a complete breakdown, because, you know, he's not medicated right now. And sometimes he is, when you are that caregiver every day, sometimes it is that, what about me? I'm going crazy with this. What about me? I mean, that's normal too.
Absolutely.
So if anybody ever hears of a caregiver that says, I'm going crazy, I don't know what I'm going to do, don't think bad of that person, because they may be in a 24-hour with that person and trying to help them. And it don't mean they're mad at that person, or they're tired of caring for that person. It's just sometimes
it's just a lot of pressure to have.
Yes.
I've actually seen caregivers, especially older ones, die before the person they were actually caring for.
Yep.
because of the stress and, you know, the 24/7. I mean, you know,
Mhm.
and sometimes people will criticize and say, oh, how could you put a loved one in a nursing home? Well, if you have a patient, you know, a loved one that has Alzheimer's and they're escaping, you know, they run out of the house, they get lost, and they get physically, you know, they hit. You have to have help. You can't do
Exactly.
it all yourself. And you never know unless you're in that position. So again, people judge.
Mhm.
And you know, Joe, when I would go, when my dad, he had stroke when he finally couldn't even sit in the wheelchair anymore, and he was bedridden. And I won't say that every day I went to my mom's. It wasn't but a few minutes after I got off the interstate. My house was to the right, getting off, and to the left, I'd go. That would right. It wasn't far to where Mom was. Probably 5 minutes once I got off the interstate, got through lights, but I still had to come home and get dinner ready and do all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But sometimes I would. Willow said she cared for both of her folks for 30 plus years, so she understands.
That's
But
difficult
I
because
would,
if you have 2 full-time jobs, if you're being a wife and mother or a mother and you're working a full-time job and you're taking care of somebody who needs 24-hour-a-day care, you're working 3 full-time jobs all at the same time. That's
Yep.
a lot of work and wear and tear on your mental state and your physical well-being.
Yep. But you know, I'd go see my mom and you know, I'd go in there and see Dad, and she would be kind of aggravated because I was wanting to be in there and see Dad and check on him. But I would sit in there with her, and I'd drink me some coffee, and that was she had her little smoking area where the fan pulled it out. But I'd visit with her, because I knew that my dad would call out because there's something about them once they have a stroke or something. I think they don't sleep regular.
Well, it affects their brain when you have a stroke. It does do some damage to the brain.
So Dad would call out, and you know he couldn't half see because he only had one eye. But he'd call out to him. He'd call her Mom. They always called each other Mom and Dad. And he'd say, "Mom, you there?" And she'd have to say, "Yeah, I'm in here." You know, so night and day. I understood that. I did give her credit, and I do give her credit for that. And I understand.
Good morning, Ciosa. Good morning to you. Good morning, Ciosa. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ciosa. Uh-oh, you guys. My son-in-law Shane is in the house on Facebook.
Good morning to Shane. Good morning to you. Good morning to Shane. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Kevin. Shane is on Facebook with us. I know what I was going to do. I'm going to go in there and get me some Tums.
So you're actually live on Facebook and YouTube?
Yeah, at the same.
Oh, okay. I finally figured that one out.
Yeah, and and see, that's another thing I think why I pixelate and I freeze up because I'm doing both. But I
went on a couple of auctions on Facebook, and I do not like it. I won't even go there anymore as far as the auctions. I'm on Facebook every day, but the auctions, there's such a lag. There's such a delay.
There is.
And I don't like the chat area either.
It's weird.
Good morning, Elias. Good morning to you. Good morning, Elias. Good morning to you.
Brandy's on too, you guys. My oldest daughter, Brandy.
Aw. Good morning to Brandy. Good morning to you. Good morning to Brandy. Good morning to you. Siosa said, y'all keep me in your prayers. I'm taking my meds and trying, but lately I've been so angry all the time, like just mad and snappy, and it's awful. Totally
Siosa.
understand, Siosa.
People that think that Christians don't get angry,
Yeah.
are wrong, because there's nothing that we're going through that Christ did not feel. And he felt anger when he saw the money people in the exchanging money.
I used that verse in my video that I put on today.
Oh, did you see?
Yeah.
Good morning, Diana. Good morning to you. Good morning, Diana. Good morning to you.
Oh, Diana, I was talking about you too with Casey. When we went to get supper, Casey said, "Mom, we'll just eat out again." And I said, "Casey," I said, "you cannot watch Diana without grinning and smiling." And I said, and she told me to say, if you would wait, share it out, hit the like and the thumbs up. I think that I said, I don't feel natural saying that. But I said, Diana did she did a little talk about it and said, ask for what you want, and you are special. Everybody's special out there. So, yes. So, Diana, thank you. She told me stop feeling like that I shouldn't ask those things. But oh my gosh, yes. Let me go get the Tums. I'm drinking coffee, and I know.
Elias, I would say to you, my bit of advice is you can only do your best. You can only give what you have in the tank to give, and you still have to take care of yourself and your wife and what you have in your life. That as much as they try to make you feel guilty for not giving them a pity party, you still have to take care of your own situation. And it is difficult when you're trying to take care of parents that want more than you can give, but they have to understand that you also have a life that you have to maintain while taking care of them.
All right, let me go get those. Woo.
Guess what I had to eat, Darlene?
You guys get to see my brand new camos, unless I'm pixelated.
What did you have?
Pop-Tarts. Darlene's one of her favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed one really quick because I knew I'd get hungry.
I'm not talking to you, Kat.
Good morning, Diana.
Mm-hmm. Elias, see what Diana wrote, that you have to take care of yourself first, then give out. You don't have anything in the tank. You can't give.
Right. And sometimes it's hard. I can say for myself, I don't think like maybe the typical elderly person,
Mm-hmm.
because some of them think that, they forget that their kids are adults and they have a life. And yes, care about your parents and help when it's possible. But you can't, it's like I lived in Nevada. I didn't expect my son to keep flying up if I got sick. So I moved to Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes parents won't do that.
Right.
They think their kids should drop everything. Well, your kids have jobs. They have families. They can't always. But I know there are elderly people who are so set in their ways that they don't give.
Exactly. And when you're trying to work to support yourself,
Right.
yeah, Elias, you've got to take care of you and your wife and your kids. And you can do your best, but you can take care of them to a point. But if you don't take care of your own nuclear family of your wife and your kids and yourself, then what do you have left when you've given it all to your parents?
Yeah. There has to be that give and take. And sometimes,
And Elias, you go check out Joe, because Joe did a thing about Christian and non-Christian, and
oh yeah,
and all Christians are not just sweet.
no.
They're not just sweet. I'm just.
I guess what provoked this for me, I hear people say, I'm a Christian, yet anything comes into their life, like some tragedy, something, all of a sudden, where's their faith? It's gone. They forget it. And so are you Christian just in name, or do you live that life? And I say in my video, we're all sinners. Hey, we've all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There was only one perfection, and that was the Lord Jesus. The rest of us are all sinners. And so before you start judging, and I also used an example about, bashing the morals of our president, and clean up your own backyard before you start judging, because we've all made mistakes. How many of us, when we were young, that we didn't make bad choices? How many of us can say that?
Yep.
And so often you're judging, oh, that person's doing that and that person shouldn't be doing that. You don't know the circumstances, and there's only one judge, and that's God, not us. And so, yeah, I all of a sudden last night I thought, I got to do this. I may bring some haters on, but I've got to do this. It was like God wanted me to do this. And I'm glad I did, I actually didn't stutter like I usually do.
Elias, sometimes there's nothing you can do or say to get your parents to respect you as an adult.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to take it one day at a time and either go see them, call them. But if they are a constant hurt your heart every time you go, sometimes you have to love people from a distance. Even the Bible said, yeah, honor your father and mother, but it also said when you get married, you leave and you cleave one to another. You become one. Now, yes, we moved in with MawMaw, and there's nothing wrong with taking care of somebody, moving in and taking care of them. But the husband and wife are supposed to be together.
They're supposed to be one.
Yes. So you have God, and I know a lot of women aren't going to agree with me, but it's biblical. You have God that is ahead of you, then your husband. And, you're supposed to put God first, then your husband. And your husband's supposed to be the Godhead of the family. And I'm not saying your husbands are gods, but I think it's called the Godhead, isn't it, of the family? So I had to step back. I had to step back from being hurt every time I would talk to my mom. And so I had to step away. And I felt so bad and felt so guilty about it until Joe come on my show for the first time. And when she started talking about what she went through, it was so much alike that I was able to say those words in front of people and not feel the overwhelming guilt or feel like I'd be judged because I can't be around my mom right now.
Yes, we had mothers that were pretty similar. I had a mother who said she never did anything wrong in her life until I don't think she ever admitted that she ever did anything wrong, ever. And she died at 98. I never understood that. I thought, wow, what planet is she living in?
Mm-hmm.
Because we all do things that are not right. We're all sinners.
Mm-hmm.
If we weren't, the Lord wouldn't have had to die on the cross for our sins.
Exactly.
If we were perfect.
Yeah,
Guys, I'm pooping out real fast.
I know.
I love you all.
You've hung in
I
there.
gotta go have a smoke and then sit down and be comfortable. Elias, hang in there, bud. I'll be praying for you and praying for you to find some peace in this.
Yeah, I love you, Traci.
Love you too.
Hopefully I didn't chase you off, Traci.
No.
Okay.
I haven't been on in a few days. I'm just pooped out. That's all.
You take care.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Josie, I was so glad Tracy come on. She just can't build up yet. She hasn't built up her strength.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it gets to the pain clinic and
on Facebook, Willow said, fair weather believers, much like fair weather friends. Mm-hmm. That's right. You have to, Sonia, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Diana, that sounds like me. She said, taking care of parents is not easy. Life can be hard, as Grandma used to say. I grab all the happiness I can and give out all the happiness I can.
That is so wise. That's good.
And Diana, and that's what I try to do. I tell people I get more from this because everybody, you guys send me your energy. But I am a happy person, and it makes me happy when I see all of you guys. No, Elias, it's really not venting. Well, it is venting, but you're in a place that you can get feedback because you're not going to be judged. I'm not going to think, oh my gosh, Elias said this or no, because that's kind of what we're here for.
This is a comfortable place. Hey, I have my bathrobe on, guys. If I feel that comfortable, and I'm one of those people that never go anywhere without my makeup and all dressed up.
I had on my red lipstick, and that inspired you this morning. Yeah. You thought, let me throw on my robe and my red lipstick, and I'll jump in. Oh, yeah. Kevin, you ought to look. There's Brandy. That's my oldest daughter.
Hi,
Joe, can you look at her and see the resemblance with her and Casey?
Yes. Oh, wow. Almost like twins. Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my gosh.
Looks so much like Casey. I bet Casey.
No, Casey looks so much like me.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, you guys have to claim each other, I'll tell you.
Yep. My oldest granddaughter, how old, Star?
21.
21 is going to make Brandy a grandma. And it's going to make us great grandparents.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm trying to buy baby stuff now. We're actually trying to buy that house that I sent to you guys last night. So
I saw that.
That was my unspoken prayer request.
Yes, I seen that, and I was like, "What? Did Brandy see your picture?" He said, "Yes."
No, it's not just a picture. You click on the link and it's
Yeah.
all those pictures
Yeah.
of the house.
Casey, come here and speak to your sister.
Right now.
Brandy, come here and look in the camera. Get down here in the camera so people can see.
Yeah, we want to see
Wait.
you.
Turn your head up a little bit. Wait. All right. There's Casey. Turn your head up a little bit. Ah. And there's Brandy. Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Shut
You guys have to claim each other.
Shut that door so your daddy won't make me lose my Christian happiness this morning.
I love his laugh so much.
Can I see me over here? You know why Daddy was laughing in there? He did with your water.
Are you serious? Brandy, your daddy is not right. Your daddy is not right.
What's
You
he
guys.
doing?
I can't even say online.
Oh, Lord. That means it's got to be real bad.
You
We
know
won't question then.
Hey, Joy. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Joy. And Willow said, hey, Casey. He said, Brandy knows her daddy's not right. He's a jokester and
I
he
get it
just-
from him too.
but you guys, when my hair was blonde and Brandy was younger, everybody thought she just belonged to me. Because her mom has the same fair hair and the same fair skin, and so everybody didn't question it when we would be out somewhere and I had Casey as a baby and Brandy and Tiffany. They just didn't even question it.
Casey was real white-headed.
Yeah, when he come out with little fuzz. He is a bald baby, and then he got white hair come in, and whenever anybody said, "Oh, look at that cute little bald headed baby," it'd make me mad. I'd snap. I'd say, "He has hair. He has hair. It's blonde." I don't know why it bothered me. I don't know why.
Because people, we just are defensive of our babies.
But you got me. He come out a beautiful baby.
Yep.
He came out a beautiful
And
baby.
people can say that all babies are beautiful, and that's just not true.
You sound. Look now, we ain't gonna offend nobody.
I mean, I'm not pointing anybody out or anything. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness, Elias said he'll take blonde hair. He'll take any hair.
I know,
That's
right?
right. He doesn't have any, does he?
No, but that's okay too because Elias, everybody does not look right bald headed. My husband looks real good without hair. Yeah, Brandy's head's shaved all around.
Except for this long ponytail part. And Angela's fixing to dye it for me, and it's going to be like a platinum color.
Willow, what's a towhead baby?
A baby that his head looks like a toe.
It really? That's a thing?
That's an old term. Go ahead.
What did it? Casey said it's because they come out looking like a toe.
No, it's just kind of whitish blonde hair, I think.
Willow said they got it from their dad though because mom had blue-black hair. She said a white-haired baby is what Willow said.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Willow, when Tiffany would dye her hair, she liked the blue-black color. I like the blue-black. Not on me. The red.
Like that if you ever meet, you can paint his head.
We talked about that, and I said yes, I could because I did. I painted the pregnant woman's belly, so the bald head would not be, hey, I done got practice on that. Brandy, you see my chair I got?
I do. That's a gaming chair.
It is, but that's okay.
Yep.
Um,
I need a new one. Mine's not.
and it wasn't bad. It was, I think with shipping and everything is about $140. And it goes all the way back to, and the leg thing reaches out to where when my back is bothering me, I can lay in it and take the pressure off the pressure points.
I know because mine was like $300, but I've had it for like 6 years or something, and it's really wearing out. I mean, it's the cloth that's wearing out. I should have bought leather when I had the opportunity, but I didn't.
Ian, Ian is silly. He is so silly. Ian, you got me speechless. Casey, Ian done said all babies look like gremlins.
Oh, that's a beautiful baby. He better recognize.
Did you hear that? He said he was a beautiful baby. You better recognize. Oh, that's why Joe loves Casey, because he's got that little attitude.
Look, I would say it's more than little.
Yeah, I like people who have an attitude and say what they think.
Rebecca, well, first of me, us, never, them. Hello. Thank you. Us, never, them. Thank you for stopping by. We just talk about everything here. Yep. Whatever pops up, we talk about it. Well, to a degree. Yes, Derek was on when I did last week when I did my 1 year. Yeah, Derek was on. He still comes in here sometimes. Sonia said her baby was bald until she was 3. Yeah, neither one of my kids had much hair. And Brandy had hair when she come out. I've seen her baby pictures. One of her baby pictures, she looks like an angry baby. Remember that? You've seen that?
Yes, I posted that picture. I shared it with somebody, and I was mad in that picture.
She was a baby, and she had an angry face. We got that picture somewhere. Oh, yeah. We're going to take a time and space. Let me back up. Oh, come on.
Okay.
Are you on the phone?
Brandy? On live.
Don't you talk about the way you're dressed, because all pictures.
Oh, no, that was adorable.
We have to, you know which one I'm getting?
The pink one with me with the pink.
Right. The one of all my babies. Look.
Yeah,
oh, that's a neat picture. Wow.
And Abriana, you can see Abriana in that picture, Tiffany.
Hold on 1 second, darling.
It says the host ended the meeting.
So did you say you couldn't hear anything or see anything?
No,
but yes, those were my 3 babies. I think that was taken at church. So yeah, Casey was a happy baby. He was a happy baby. Hey Brandy, I'm gonna mute you. Unmute yourself when you come back. Oh, there you are. But
all our kids are doing, and in Georgia, they're doing online schooling. And little Shane had a Zoom meeting that he was on, and that he was having some issues with it. So,
and like Casey said, everybody is on the internet, and that's what right now. Look. Tony, Ian's something else. I just don't even, he makes me speechless, Tony. And I'm talking grayscale painting. That is Tony. Oh, but kids doing their homework, and it's just pulling from everybody's internet. You know, you don't think of how many kids in houses are on the internet, and people that are shut in, they're on the internet. I'm ready for it to get back to normal.
A lot of people are working from home on the internet, so.
But, you know, how are they doing it if they're like pixelated? Because like Casey, whatever they sent him to use, it brought the speed and bandwidth down so much.
I think it depends on the area and who, like, I have Spectrum, depends which company you're with, you know, if you're with AT&T.
Wow.
And
Yeah, we're with Wow.
makes a lot of difference.
Oh no, the buffer wheel of destruction. Oh, am I buffering again, Ian?
Not to
It
me
didn't look
now.
like it to me.
You look
Okay.
really clear right now.
Willow said, well, not everybody. I seen a report online earlier that stated that around a third of the kids who have been transitioned to online education have never logged in. Oh my gosh. Well,
We're
not every
having
kid
trouble
has,
with it with little Shane.
not everybody has a computer at home either.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, the Georgia people do because they give them Chromebooks.
okay.
Georgia students are, I mean, you know, the money really does go into education here. It
Gotcha.
really does. They
Gotcha.
don't want or need for anything. But now that they're at home, some people do not have Wi-Fi. You know, it's not every household that has it. One of his friends has to get someone to bring paper assignments to his house. So,
Oh goodness. Yes, grayscale. Ian is a special kind of artist. Look, I still haven't figured out who posted on their page the Wonky Donkey song, the Wonky Donkey thing.
you talking about that children's book?
The Wonky Donkey, yeah.
The Winky Wonky Donkey? My grandbaby is having that book. I love that video so
I never heard it till somebody put music to it and they posted it online. They did a little illustration. You'll see it on my Facebook.
I've never seen it with music, but it was this older lady reading it to her little grandbaby, and then she would start giggling, and I just had a really really fun time with that.
You'll go on my if you go on my page, you'll see it because I had to share it on my page. It was so funny because my dad only had one eye, and then he only ended up with one leg. So when I seen the Wonky Donkey, I thought of my dad.
Yeah,
He's no longer with us, but
I didn't realize that, Darlene, because my dad was only born with one eye.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dad, he injured his. He fell on a knife when he was in his 20s, which all of us kids were born in his 20s. Because him and Mom had 6 kids. Well, she was had my sister at 17 and had her last one at when she was 30. So 6 kids. But anyway, Dad was at Riverside Hospital in California is where he had to go. And so I grew up with it. And so my dad was so funny with it, Let me see. Willow says schools have passed out Chromebooks, but they don't have internet or Wi-Fi, and parents won't let them use the Wi-Fi hotspots they have set up specifically for that. And she said wouldn't surprise her if school issued laptops don't show up in pawn shops in droves as soon as they reopen. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Why wouldn't parents let their kids on the Wi-Fi? I don't understand that.
Because everybody don't feel like Wi-Fi is stable, or people have different concepts of the internet.
Yeah, but the Chromebooks that my kids have, all 3 of them that are still in school have the Chromebooks. They are very, very strict about what you can use and what programs you can use and what programs you cannot use. And it all has to be education related. You know what I'm saying? Like any website you go to has to be.
I know, but a lot of some people they don't even want the internet because they feel like people gets paranoid. It took forever before your dad was okay. Diana, this is our oldest daughter, Brandy Lynn. So it took a while. When I tell you, Dad, I'll pay it online. I don't know about that. Can't you just send it? So it takes some people a lot to understand. If you have a good software, I mean, good
antivirus. And
yes. And if you steal something, happens to your money, sometimes it's because they've infiltrated the bank and got your information, not anything to do with your own.
Which
and
is crazy,
so
you would think the bank would be more secure.
And so they will give you your money back. They have to research it.
But they do get it,
Aw.
Well, what a lot of people don't realize, though, they can get your information even if you go down to a store. It's really not any safer being in person than it is online.
Yeah.
You know.
Brandy, Denise said, Brandy, you're such a beautiful woman. And lots of love and big hugs, Brandy.
The Denise that I know, right?
That sounds just like Casey.
What?
If any of them tell Casey they love him or something, he'll say, I know. Oh. Look, he had on his scarf yesterday, and he said, should I do it like this? And he had one eye shown because we went to Walmart. And I said, I'm not going to suffocate myself today. We'll do hand sanitizer and not get close to anyone.
We can't even get hand sanitizer.
I think MawMaw got some because of her insurance or her medical supplies.
I had some from before, and then I have an emergency bag that, everybody should make one, but a lot of people just kind of laugh about it. But I had mask in there, and I had hand sanitizer, and
Well, like I said, I'm going to see things different for flu season around November and December. I'm really going to, and we might see more people during flu season walking around with gloves and masks.
Well, the only thing too, though, your body it's to keep our immune system is what's really important, and we need to keep it healthy by taking vitamins, by eating properly, by getting exercise, because you can hide so long, and then your body's immunity system goes down, and then you're going to catch every little bug that comes around.
Yes, that's what happens. That's what happens when people don't want their kids in daycare because they don't want their kids sick.
Right. Our bodies have, we should be able to fight off germs.
And then when they start kindergarten, then they're sick all the time. And the parents don't understand it. When I had my daycare, I was never sick. I think I got pneumonia once, and and that was before I had mine at home. I was working at 3 different ones, but I had strep throat one time, but I never caught anything from the
Yeah.
kids. Not pink eye when it went through, I didn't catch pink eye, or nothing else. Oh my
Well,
goodness, Ian. Ian
all my
said,
years of nursing, I only got sick one time.
that means cutting back on Pop-Tarts, laugh out loud.
Yeah, yes, that's what I ate this morning, by the way.
Oh, what kind?
Strawberry.
Oh, see, I have one more pack in there. It's because they didn't have much to choose from. But I like the ones without the frosting, so I got the strawberry without the frosting.
Yeah.
And
No, I grabbed it really quick when I decided to come on here in my bathrobe. I grabbed one. And you can tell my allergies. I haven't had anything to drink yet.
you hadn't fixed your coffee yet?
No, I need to fix some coffee. But yeah, it's you can't put yourself in this glass bubble and hide from all the germs. You're going to be more apt to get sick. But right now, wearing masks, in fact, a lot of the stores won't allow you in there. Each state is different. Some stores won't allow you in there unless you do have a mask on. And I actually just started, I made one mask, and I'm going to be sewing this weekend and make some more masks.
Uh-oh. Elias, I like mine. Mine almost are burnt on the edges with my Pop-Tarts because I leave them in there. But yes, they did say that everything, the doctors used to put you on antibiotics for everything. Now people get mad because they're not.
I know.
Because,
and
yeah, our immune systems, and when they come out with antibacterial soap, and now you can't basically get any soap without it, and then hand sanitizer, and they tried to warn people even years ago.
exactly.
You're going to have your immune system to where you can't fight off stuff.
Exactly. And that's actually what's happening. And because I remember the latter part of my medical career, I worked in a nursing home, and I could remember families, their mom maybe sneezed or coughed. Oh, you need to call the doctor and get antibiotics. People don't understand. You don't give antibiotics for a cold. And doctors finally backed off and stopped ordering so many antibiotics because it's destroying.
Willow said mobile libraries have transitioned over to being used for the same, trying to help, but there'd be germ farms too. They set up school buses as Wi-Fi hotspots but parents would fear them catching. Yeah, I mean, right now you don't need to have kids getting on the bus, from all different houses. If you're in a highly infected place, our county now is crazy with it. I mean, it's out there. And, Easter, everybody, because it was Easter, they got together. But the only thing I kind of worry about, Joy said Tyson chicken, and we have to say it or that is so crazy. It's IA, which is artificial intelligence stuff going on with YouTube. If you say certain words, keywords, they can erase your video.
Yeah, you have to be careful. And even in my video, I did not use the words,
Yeah.
You just have to be really careful. And how do we know how accurate some of these tests are, by the way? Think about that.
I know, because it's like my numbers are going down, and then they're not letting you, the 3 buttons on the side, you can't just go to that person's page. And even if you do copy and paste the name, open another window, it's still, you might have 5 Denise Canes. And you really have to try to see which one is the one you're trying to look at.
Yeah, it's right now everything's messed up, but it'll get better.
It will. It'll get better. Oh, on a good note though, Joe, I did spend some money on myself other than the chair. I bought me 2 pair of pants, and these capri that I have are kind of stretchy capris, and they're I don't know if they could be seen, but they are camouflage. So I had Casey yesterday. I said, look, I need a shirt for my camo because not everything matches, and they didn't have the shirts that I was wanting. So we picked out this one, and it's real big. I picked it for a reason, so that way.
Though it's very pretty.
And then I had this wooden necklace that I had up there, and I'm like, let me see. I think I'll go with this necklace.
Very nice. You're dressed, and I'm still in my robe. I can't believe I've done this, actually.
But it's pretty. It suits you. Copy and paste. Yes, Diana, but I'm finding it hard to find the people.
Yeah,
Thank you,
because
Joy.
there are a lot of creators or people on YouTube but using the similar name.
Oh, Diana said at her age, it's either capris or pantyhose or a lycra. Laugh out loud. I don't leave the house without lycra. Oh, but these are very comfortable. But today I keep on. Oh, wait. Cheryl, which is Willow, said camo cringe. Laugh out loud. But wait, let me see if I can pull my leg up. These are all right. Let me see. These are my capris. See,
I like those. Those are sharp looking.
and then I pulled some off the thing, and I told Casey, let's try to see what would go with it. Everything don't go with camo, and so I was going with the boho look, which they call it now. We called it the hippie look back in the day.
Right. Yeah, my days too. That's what they called it.
But I've always liked the flowy kind of clothes, and I'm really thinking about getting the cream color of this, because when I start to do the corset things I'm wanting to do, a lot of the people that go to these what is it when they go to these where they dress up, cosplay and all this kind of stuff, they have the flowy shirts and then the corsets.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and then they dress that way, and it's an adult. It's almost what you would consider Halloween dressing up, but they do it steampunk and all that kind of stuff. So, oh, okay, Brandy. Oh, goodness. The principal called, so she had to drop off. Because Big Shane, her husband, is disciplining little Shane.
Oh.
So, yeah, Joy. That is one of the things that I'm wanting to do. I love Pyramid Collection. It is steampunk, witchy look. Yeah, I kind of want to where it looks like it's in my head. I see it in my head, but if you go on anywhere and pull up steampunk, then you're going to see the look. And I have the bust, like the what do you call it? I know you know, Joe. I got it from Donatello. I got a big I won a thing from Donatella. It's the mannequin, you know, just the without the arms and the head. It's
Yeah,
the form.
the form. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to use the form to make corsets, you know,
Oh, yeah.
because, and then I want to match the hat with the corset, you know, the hat, the whole outfit.
That's neat.
So they would need to see what that would look like with the shirt like this. So, buccaneer, the sort of like a buccaneer look
Okay.
for a woman. And
So you're going to be making some of these corsets then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
that sounds interesting.
Yeah. And, it's, I had this idea when Casey took me into this thrift store, and this was way before all this stuff happened. And in that thrift store, their wedding dresses and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
were like $5, where at the other place, Goodwill, they mark them up to 20. But yeah, the Renaissance Fair. See, they have corsets and barmaid tops, the pirate look. So see, that's what this kind of would come in and still be flowy up here. But I come across some of the wedding dresses, so beautiful, and a lot of them are the corset type.
Yeah. And you can redo those, you know.
Yeah.
Buy a wedding dress in, you know, in a Goodwill shop or any of the secondhand stores. You can really, that fabric's fabulous.
Yes. And if I can take the top part off to make the corsets so beautiful, beading and stuff, and then still keep the bottom fabric like you said, even use some of the tulle and the what is the other fabric? My mind's not the slick fabric.
Oh, the chiffon.
Not that. Not the chiffon. I love that too. Oh my gosh, my mind went blank.
Years ago, I made a wedding dress for a young lady in Idaho, and all the top layer of the dress was all chiffon ruffled.
Yeah, all right, but what would be the next layer? It'd be what?
And then I used satin.
Satin, yes. Satin part. Save the satin part, and then make my hats. I could use the satin. I can take the tulle or the chiffon and then show it on the form with the corset and the hat. So that's my thoughts on that, Joe. That's where my mind is. Right now, the form is not on a roller. I want to make it where it will roll.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, I call it... I forget what I call her, but she's in my prayer closet, you guys. I gotta get that stuff and see.
What are you doing in your prayer closet?
Oh, what do I do in it?
No, what is your form doing in there?
Because I don't have nowhere right now to put it. I want it to where, you know, it's got the thing so it can roll.
Yeah.
And I have a dowel. I just have to get Kevin to make a thing so I can roll it out of the way. And say, roll it up here to work on it. So let me see, Ian, how to make a body form. Let me see if I don't want to take my, all right, let me copy and paste. So yes, Joy said, the pantaloons and bodice set is expensive online. I've priced them. And see if I'd looked at what Willow had said on the thing. She was saying satin. I would have. Let me 4, 3, 2. Come on.
Yeah, and besides satin, you can use brocade too.
All right, let me. All right. See, they're doing it out of duct tape there.
Oh,
covered that with something and then duct tape. I'm trying to get to see. All right, see, I don't see the finished product. Let me see if she showed it at the beginning. No.
she's got the roller.
Oh, she's trying to make, okay, she's
Yeah.
making that. I already have the form. So I have the, stop sharing. Come on now. Excuse me. I have the form. So, oh, joy. $150 for the onesie, pantaloons, and bodice together. $150. So that's why I told Kevin, I said, people now dress like that. And they go,
The
so yeah,
Renaissance Fair and stuff.
yeah. So that's what's in, in my head. And me and LizzAnn and I know it was me, LizzAnn, and Derek talking. And she said some people like Christian might be put off by putting those things together. And I said, but no, I said, a corset put over, say, this shirt. And then and this shirt's long. And then if I had the whole look, I don't think I don't think I'd look provocative. I think it's.
I mean, people used to dress that way at a certain time period in history. So why should that, turn off a Christian,
Yeah.
put off a Christian? Unless they're that personality that they're very judgmental. Because
Yeah.
you're covering your body. It's not like you're exposing everything.
Yeah, so people that know me now knows the type of things I like. Steampunk and like until I met you, Joe, when you come on the show, I didn't know how you were, just how I would see you in chats and on your lives or on your uploads. But there's so many different layers to all of us.
So how I'm gonna put you on the spot. So am I so different than your first impression of me?
Yes, because I thought you were always so serious. I thought I would never known you was married 4 times, which nothing's wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with it, but that's that one day when you said something about married 4 times. I'm like, oh, wait, you was in the chat, I think, and I'm like, Joe, you've been married 4 times? Are you serious? And even Casey didn't know that you laughed so much. He said, I just enjoyed to see Joe laughing. Because when you go on your videos and you got something to say, you are very, you start out with that. This is what I got to say. You like it or leave it. And this is it. And then you just say what you don't say those words, but I know that's how you're doing it.
Yeah, you're right. I think that some of us, maybe to the world, we show a different side. And then and that's why we have to be so careful in judging people, because sometimes the first appearance is not really who they are. That when you get to know them, they open up more. And like I've always said, I had 2 personalities. When I was in the professional world, I also was in the hospital purchasing supervisor. In the professional world, I had a complete
I can't remember.
personality.
I mean,
when I went home, I had also a different personality.
And it's not really, it's like business is business.
Right.
And when I worked, I had to be professional. I could not stand if I did a conference. It was very professional because that's what these people were paying for.
Exactly.
And if I was sitting by somebody, and they were just like cutting up or laughing, and I'm like, I don't want my people to hear them. We were sitting side by side, and they were doing a conference or something, and I'd be like, I wish they would hush, or I'd mute, and I'd tell them, shh, they might can hear you. So everybody's not professional. When I worked at the three, to sell myself as a book, because I did books at the trucking company I worked for, and I actually did a manual. It wasn't until after I left that he finally got up to date and got a computer and everything. But I worked for 3 different daycares doing their, doing spreadsheets for them. Go in and do the money, show what came in, and very professional. I'd walk out there and play with kids and be silly, but when it come to taking in their money,
yeah,
and doing their receipts and showing and I really sold that, because I said, if you send somebody down the road for a gallon of milk, you better show that on your taxes. What that? I said, no. They look at that as you're playing with that income.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I was very good at that when I had my daycare. So I didn't know how I was going to be, Joe, on here. I really didn't, but I had to be myself.
I'll explain your personality to what I see. You are a very warm, loving lady, very honest, and in your own sweet way, you call it like it is. I'm more blunt than you, and that's my personality. I can't change that. I've worked on it. I try, but you're your own woman, and you actually can put somebody in their place in your own sweet way. But you can do it. You just are a little more tactful than I am about that. But I see the love just flow out of you.
I love people.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Tim. Tim has to sneak in because he's at work. Love you, Tim. Thank you. But, Joe, you've seen me I bought special pajamas, I tell people, so I could remember that. So that way I could be presentable in my pajamas when Casey would go live and sit there with him. And so I was still this personality, but I was under a lot of oppression. I was under a lot of depression, I guess, with everything going on.
You didn't realize at one point what you have to offer. And you have spread so much love and encouragement.
I try.
You can't imagine what I see from the screen, what you share with people who have an open heart and want to listen.
Thank you. And see, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here picking my fingernails up under the desk because if somebody, and we've talked about this, me and you, when you're put down at a young age, when somebody does tell you good things, it's almost not uncomfortable in a bad way. It's kind of, we don't know how to take compliments when you've been criticized for so many years. And that's like Diana. When she told me, when she did her live, but she didn't name me, but she told me she did it. When she said, you have something to offer. You are special. And I listened to what she had to say. And so that's why I said, okay, somebody told me I need to do this. Hit that like, share this out. Because she, you know, said, you have something special to give.
You're an example of what a Christian should be. Not, you know, a lot of people think, they look at a Christian and say, well, how can that person say they're a Christian? Christians aren't perfect. We're human. But, you know, some of us can admit our flaws when others can't.
Mm-hmm.
And in the way I feel, until I could say until I could forgive somebody, because at one time in my life, forgiveness was hard for me. I was raised in a household who, when you were mad at somebody, you were mad for 50 years, you know. And so I had to work a long time on forgiveness. So it was like freedom when I could say, you know, I forgive you, or I'm sorry, you know. And I think that's, but excuse me, I think you're a great example for what us Christians should be.
I think because I was always, if say me and my brother, we would fight and roll around, get dirty, and you know. But after we would do that, I'd go in my room and cry. I was always the fixer. I wanted everything. Every holiday, I would want to be happy. I never wanted to be at odds with any of my siblings. So if something would be at odds, I would go in my room and cry, because I think a lot of that might have been me anyway, because my sister told me, my oldest sister, she said I was very sweet and loving from the time I was a baby, that I've always been that way. Mm-hmm. But a lot of stuff as far as trying to, hey, Mystique, that's my, oh, she's so sweet, you guys. She is so sweet. But losing my little brother when he was 3 made me never want to part on a bad note with my siblings, because it taught me at, let me see, I was a 4th grader. I hadn't even started. So I was a 3rd grader, hadn't even started 4th grade yet, because it happened in 74. So I raised my kids. I said, don't tell each other you hate each other. You never know what could happen. And, you know, that shaped me. So I never wanted my siblings to be mad at me. And that's how I grew up. I always wanted everything to be okay. And sometimes it's not.
Yeah. And the main thing is, you know, life can change in a split second. And, you know, like we've always heard the term never go to bed mad, you know.
Yes.
Or you know, it's like my son, who I see very, very often, I always say, I love you, you know?
Yeah.
You never know when it's the last time you're going to see someone.
I'm going to look something up, because I think there is a Bible verse that goes with that. Let me see.
Poor Denise, her eye is giving her a fit.
Yes, you know how sometimes blood vessel.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
Casey's had a blood vessel to bust because he It's just allergy season, and sometimes, let me see. Never let.
Yeah, I know there's a Bible verse, but
Okay, let me see. No, it's not a George Michael song. All right, all right. Here's a. Okay, when Paul says, this is what Paul said. Be angry, but do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger, and do not make room for the devil. What he is saying here is that we can get angry. Anger can destroy families, relationships, and even lives. Even suppressed and buried, anger can do many destructive things. That's just what somebody said, but I do know it is in the Bible about do not let the sun go down on your anger. And that's the part that we don't want to go to bed angry at one of our loved ones.
Yeah.
And I think too, hearing that as a child, and my grandmother sang it, it was instilled. But when I did this, when I first started, yes, the artistic part I wanted to do, and it just ended up being, the artistic part ended up being hats. But that's what I wanted. Casey said, Mom, just be you. Just be the you when my friends would come over and they would want to sit in the kitchen with you, with, all of us together. And I said, but what did I do, Casey? What did I talk about? I don't see what you're talking about. Mom, you always made my friends feel welcome. And there was never no topic that they couldn't talk to you about. I said, well, okay. And God started me out in my kitchen. I started in here, but I wasn't comfortable with the camera and with seeing myself looking back. Isn't that weird to you, Joe, when you first started?
I have a hard time going back and listening to my videos, the voice. Although I did listen to the one I put on this morning because I thought, oh, I wonder if I got really carried away there, girl.
Look, you guys, she uploaded one, so if you're able, drop your link. Put that link in there.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't even know if I have my link handy. I will. I'll actually post it on Facebook because I'm on my laptop.
Okay.
And I have a harder time with my phone trying to.
But it was very hard to start with, but I was, yes. All right. Oh no, Joy. Joy's asking for prayer requests for her daughter's boss. Their home was destroyed in the tornado.
No.
Oh no. And okay.
Oh, how horrible.
Oh, Joy. Yes.
I will put her on the prayer list. Let me write a note here.
Joy, on Facebook, Joe has prayer angels. Yes, prayer angels is Joe, her prayer channel as well, and she.
And I can put that link in because I think I have it handy somewhere. I have such an organized desk,
Girl, I guarantee it's more organized than mine.
Oh, well, I've got a million projects going is the problem. Yeah, I'll put, if anyone, wants to join my prayer group, just has to, on Facebook, I'll put the link in.
There. Okay, I wrote it down. I tried to write down as much of the information. And Joy, always, any of you guys. Good morning, Callie. Good morning. Any of you guys, if you ever have a prayer request, don't think that you can't just put it in. Like Joy, just throw it in there and Oh, yeah, Joy. There's a lot of people out there. Oh, good morning, Sanwana. Good morning, Anna Mora. Good morning,
Good
you guys.
Huh?
Oh, Mystique Casey has eczema too. He has eczema, and when he loves on Bailey, his eczema flares up. So, and you guys, Mystique is an artist of her own. She can, oh my gosh, she made me toboggan, which was beautiful, and then some gloves for my hands where the fingertips are out. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm putting you, Mystique, on here for your eczema, because I'm telling you, Casey's, he gets it from his dad's side. And it gets pretty bad. But I think our organization, because I'm looking around, and I have so much stuff sitting out, projects that I'm on, and I think a person that's an artist, whether you're using jewelry, paint, or whatever, yes, I see on Pinterest or on the internet these perfect art studios and these perfect crafting. You can just open this thing and open it again like an armoire, and all your crafting supplies are just neat and in order.
You should see mine.
I mean, you understand? You've seen those, haven't you? I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I had one of those.
I live in a very small apartment, so I don't have one specific room that I can have everything organized.
Well, I have to make sure there's jars that I wash that's on the kitchen table. I need to get them out because we took all my crafting stuff out of there. However, they're in there because there's my here's my pickle jars for me to decorate and use, and so there's some in there, and they shouldn't be on the kitchen table because we cleaned off the table and brought this in here. And Callie said, oh, she spent a whole month. Callie, you might be better than me at being disciplined. Hey, my other Denise, anything is possible. Good morning. Good morning. But I mean, all right. I got the tennis balls for Bailey, and I saved the netting.
Oh.
And I mean, it don't seem like much. However, when you stretch the netting over something like a jar,
you can decoupage that.
Yes, and it's so pretty. So there's things that I do with the netting that some people might not even think about. The different colors I have up there, I have different textures, different colors. I mean, I have eggshells up there that I washed. And what do you think eggshells, would I use that for? Makes perfect crackle look. Some of the, I think it was a Japanese art back, way back, before they lacquered stuff. Sometimes they would paint over cracked eggshells. And so
Have you done any of that?
I tried on something. I have to let it dry. I don't like waiting on something. If I'm doing a project, I want to do it and finish right then because I got these ideas going. So it would have worked. I should have left it alone, let it dry, and then put the stuff over it. But yeah, if you come in here on the left side, you'd see 1, 2, 3, 4 containers of eggshells. About 3 or 4 of these. You'd see corn. You'd see pistachio shells. And not corn. Yeah, dried corn. What is it? Seeds. No. You guys, I'm having one of those brain things. But anyway, the macaroni. I just have different things. Because, I remember as a kid, they'd take macaroni and then build a little box and then they'd put the gold over it.
Yeah, I remember those.
So it's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
All right, Callie says she's been spring cleaning is discipline. She's taking everything from one room, putting into
another room.
Well, Callie, this is my crazy room. It's a good sized room, and you look at it. I'm eccentric. I don't. Casey did take a lot of my jewelry stuff and just poured it in a box to put. He said, "Mom, let me do this." So he did. It made me anxious, but he did. But
it's a very nice room, though.
It is. Right now, the table he gave me to work on has one of my hats, and I'm taking out. I'll just show it before I make it. This chair rolls, but okay. So this might not make sense. So here's the hat. I done the inside. Little cheap hat. However, I saved purses, the zippers and stuff, because that's one of the things that's used in mixed medium art. They use zippers and stuff. So I saved that. The leather of this purse, I saved it to use. And I mean, different things. There's another zipper that I could put around the hat, and it could be unzipped to a point. So there, this whole bag has. I destructed a Coach bag. I know a lot of people are going to say, "No, you didn't," but yes, I did, because I just did. So buckles and stuff can be used for the look of steampunk. So yes, I have a bag of this, and somebody might come in and say, "Why did your mom have that bag of stuff like that?"
So let's see, in the next month or two, let's see you use those items and make something. How's that?
Yes. I actually,
create.
Yes. Plus the ones that Dwayne sent me that needs to go on it as well. For the steampunk hat. These right here. And I even have a little thing of lights. They're battery and they're like real small, but they got some lights. I could even use those.
How about doing that isn't Sandy having a contest of sorts to make things from leftovers? Project.
I'll have to ask. When did she say that? Yesterday?
A couple days ago.
I'll have to find out. Hey, 4Speed.
Hi, 4Speed.
Oh, see, 4Speed wants. See, he jumped in. I know. He heard my steampunk. He challenged me that I have to do a hat. Now I wore the 4Speed. I wore the one that is amazing that was given to me. I'm trying to figure out where it went. Oh, I put it in the closet. I cheated and wore that one the other day. But I'm making one. So, MawMaw, Sandy's got something going to where you make something from scratch?
MawMaw would know. I heard it, but I can't remember all the particulars. But it was like Sandy didn't want us like to go out and buy new items. It was like used items that from leftover projects. Just like I probably could enter one of my jewelry art because the jewelry I used is broken jewelry.
Yes, I love those that you do.
So, you know, but that would be neat if you could take that sack of stuff that you have.
I am, and the hat was like, I didn't make the hat per se, but it was marked down. It actually says Happy New Year.
Hi, MawMaw.
MawMaw, Joe's waving. See, you never know who's going to be on. So,
Yeah, I broke down, MawMaw, even in my bathrobe.
she says MawMaw, she's got her bathrobe on, but ain't it pretty?
Who?
Joe, you can't. I thought she was dressed up.
Wow, yes, I like that.
I thought she was dressed up. So,
I couldn't sleep, and I thought, well, I'm going to get entertained. I'll listen to Darlene and the group of ladies.
So, I had a few dollars. It wasn't much. And I bought these Happy New Year's hats.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to buy those. And so, from that, so far, I have, let me see. I'll be dropping stuff. I have this one that I made.
Oh, that's neat. I love butterflies.
Vanessa, I think Vanessa does too. So I did that one. And I like this one. It was sitting in here, and the more I looked at it, the more I liked it.
Oh, it's red.
See that one?
I do like that.
I loved this one. The more, yeah, it was sitting in here, and every time I'd walk through the room, I would see it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm really liking that one. And then fancied this one up, lipstick red.
That's red.
But it should have, I would have liked shine to it, but that was the color, lipstick red, because somebody talks, Mr. Dwayne talks about my red lipstick. So
oh, that's cute. I could add a little bit more bling to it.
Yes, but you know, this was a throw together that morning. I painted that night, and then sometimes I don't know the ideas until the next day. So those came from that, and this one I painted with some Rust-Oleum, and it looks kind of suede-y. I got to finish painting it that color. So that one, but you know, I did from scratch. You remember these, Joe? I did these from scratch. Sure enough,
I like that.
Made them myself.
That's cool.
So yes, that is. And this one, I actually brought them out of the bed closet. See, I got this one on this stand.
Wow.
Because I want to be able to. Yeah, I want to be able to display my hats. I don't know how I started doing hats, but for those that are new to me, let me get this one. Yes, you guys, there's many. And then this one.
Oh my. Oh,
my Mr. Fruit Loops.
I think that's my favorite.
And yes. Adorable. And he's made out of bowls. Cereal bowls.
Oh my gosh. You are so creative. So
yes, I like him. And he has to be pinned in a certain way though.
Yeah.
But yes. So that's what started Crazy Hat Day, you guys. Hey, AJC Magic. But I like him. I couldn't figure out how to gussy him up to shine.
What amazes me is how you thought about using the plates.
The bowls.
The bowls, rather.
Trying to find something. I don't know. Because I think I thought of cereal bowls, but then I thought I was unique. No. There's a whole thing on YouTube where people would make hats for their kids out of stuff like this. But, and then, you know, I did the Cracker Box hat for LizzAnn. So, and I did what? So yeah, my art just turned into hats, and but they're fun, especially the cereal ones.
I
They're
even made one just to be on your show, and that's the only hat I have.
Well, Louise, I always say her name wrong. Oh yeah, and I did the birthday hat. This one, you guys, oh my goodness. No joke. I put this around it because that was supposed to look like fondant dripping, I absolutely
like a cake or something that you drip the frosting.
Yes, that's what it's supposed to be for the birthdays. When I do the birthday, I had paint dripping on me because I put it together that morning. And so that's the happy birthday hat. But the one that, oh goodness. This is one Louise made for me.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, I love that with the cross.
Yes, look.
Yeah.
And she put all kind of stuff, blinged it, and I love this one.
That is neat.
She caught the essence of really like who I am, and of course Funky Chicken, for those that have not seen Funky Chicken.
Oh, yes.
I bought a frame for it, and that was the only thing I was going to buy before I send it to the person, but the frame's not big enough.
Yeah, you have to have a larger frame.
Yep. So, but that's going to somebody. I got something else. So I have been using my paints. AJC Magic. Oh, thank you. And have you got to go to work? Oh goodness. But I have I have 2 hats left. And I was going to deconstruct it and make my own. But if I can find some more that I can add to, I mean, I won't, to me, they're repurposed. And I wanted to do something to where I could sell my repurposed stuff. I ain't talking about making just something and I could buy supplies or I could buy something else. I'm not saying that, I can't hold up a whole lot. I've been on here this morning since about 7.
Yeah.
But this chair, you guys, makes a whole difference. I brought my keyboard down because the table in there comes to my hip. So it's tall. The chair was tall. And I was trying to type. And I was hurting so bad every day, Joe. I felt like I couldn't move by the time I'd get out of that chair. It did good in the kitchen, but not for this desk.
Yeah. You have to be comfortable. I'm short, so my desk it's in the right position, the right height. But when I sit too long, then when I go to get up, my legs. Some days they're better than others.
But it got to where every time I come in here and tried to do this, it would almost be like somebody trying to lay on a bed of nails. It was that painful by the time I would finish. And yesterday, it wasn't. But I still, I felt like at 55, I should have been able to be like my mom, be just like doing everything in the quick motion I always did it.
Yeah. Well, I feel I'm very blessed. I didn't start really with aches and pains until I hit 70.
See, and that's
I have no complaints. I feel very blessed.
So Samwana, and you're younger than me. And Callie, Callie does her she does paintings too. pours. She did a pour, and I loved it. But like I said in here yesterday, I had so much because I've been sick. I've been in the bed. And when I came on yesterday, it felt so good being here with everybody and be sitting in this chair after being off for a few days. But I was on for quite a while. And, you know, last night, my leg just, it hurt. Yes, Callie says she can't sit for more than a minute during the day. Body screams to be exercised. Yeah, and I move around a lot. You guys will see me moving or, so it's still that. But what did yesterday we talked about food and books. So today I kind of brought out what's going to be kind of creations.
We've talked about a little of everything today, right?
We always do. I mean, somebody come on one time and they said, because, you know, my that's when I think I was in there, my intro that I'm going to keep. And so this is where we're going to make the art. And some new person come in and they said, so what is this channel about? I said, a little bit of everything. You know, I said, yes, it's, it's Christian based and we talk and I do art and we just do everything. And that's what I told them, whether they've been back or it might not be everybody's cup of tea, you know?
Right.
Yes, I know, Sanwana. Somebody said they did that to stop the grow channels. But I don't know if it's that. I think it's right now with
I think just a lot of rumors go around. Nobody I usually get an update like once a month from YouTube, you know, and tell you different things.
Yeah, we fixed this or we fixed that.
Yeah, I think just it's a shame. It's like with anything else, rumors get started. I don't think it has anything to do with the growth channel.
And it says please be patient with us.
Yeah,
because
they're understaffed.
Yes, you know? But Callie, thank you, and I am so glad to be in here. Just like Traci this morning when out of the corner of my eye, I saw on Facebook one of my past videos. And out of the corner of my eye, I looked and Traci was sitting there and she kind of had her head down. And she come in my heart. I'm like, bless Traci. And then I had a message pop up. She's, you know, I'm showered. I'm ready for some happy. I'm ready for some fun. And hurting, she came on and sung to everybody until she couldn't sit anymore.
Yeah.
And
that's, you know, kind of why I actually put that video on. Yeah, some people might take it a little bit negative, but I just wanted to encourage people to have faith. You know?
Morning, April.
You know, everything's going to be okay.
Bushy Bear.
Hi, April.
That's Casey's boot. Now, when Casey needs to get away, that's pretty. You painted a can, didn't you? All right, let me share.
Okay, I want to see.
All right. See, I used to do cans.
Oh, yes, that's cool. That's really neat.
I'm going to have to see if it's a, let me see if she sent me another one. Okay. Callie, is that a can? Did you decorate and paint a can? Yes, tin can. I've saved those too and painted. I mean, you don't have to go out and buy stuff sometimes. Use the things around you to make beautiful. This is throwaway jewelry. And I just happened to have it hanging up along with some other stuff. And because it's wood, I put it with my shipwreck stuff. And when I put this shirt on, I was like, I wonder if this will go with it.
Perfect with that shirt.
So, you know, it's what I call the throwaway stuff. And Bushy Bear started the whole thing. That's how the house blew up with the jewelry. She brought in a box, huge box of jewelry, and I started sorting through it. And it's beautiful. I mean, it is beautiful. Yes, we have to walk by faith and trust the Lord. He knows what's best for us all, and this will pass. That's true, Joe. And it will. And yeah, and like Callie said, we pray for each other. And when I don't see somebody on, I wonder how they're doing, or I try to shoot them a message.
See, I really feel like the Lord gave us a second chance because our country is so far away from what it used to be as far as, they've taken the Lord out of schools and the direction we were going in. And I think this is kind of a rude awakening. People are really thinking about their mortality. And maybe some good changes will come out of it.
Yeah. And, I just tell people, keep your eyes open. Look what's going on around you. That, God spoke of the different, he spoke of the signs. And we are supposed to be vigilant. We're supposed to be the bride. We're supposed to have our oil ready.
Be ready.
Because though the foolish brides didn't have their oil filled and they were sleeping, and when the bridegroom called, only those with the oil that lit their way were united.
Don't stop living, but always be ready.
Yeah. And Callie, I've done that. Callie said she's thought of cutting holes and put a candle and light up a room. Yes, I did that for outside before. And one time, and put the cans set in the bamboo holders. So, you can do that as well. Or around the pool, I had the cans with the lights around the pools too. I have to say, and they did not take here. When my kids were in school, they still would pray around the flagpole if that's what you wanted to do. And also at the football games, they would start the game out with prayer. So it's really whoever in your community gets offended and does an uprising. But in Alabama, it really hasn't been taken away. And there was even a class, my grandson in junior high school, I think it was last year sometimes, there was a class he could take on religion or something. I forget what it was. And I'm like, really? So they made it to where he could go to that. Yes, and one. I remember saying the blessing before we would get up and go to the lunchroom. We would say, it was a Johnny Appleseed, thanking for the rain and the something and the apple tree. I forget the song, but we would sing that to thank God for giving us the rain and the sun and the apple seed or something like that. We would do that, and that was in the 70s. 71, first grade to 76. But yeah, before we would line up, we would say a blessing and then go to the lunchroom.
I'm so thankful my grandkids get to go to a private Christian school, and they study the Bible. They say a prayer in the morning. They salute the flag. It's just like, because public schools aren't that way anymore. Not in California, anyway.
I bet that they don't do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I don't think in California they do any of that, and that's why this school is very expensive. My son works hard to get these kids to this school, but it's actually wonderful. They don't get that in public school anymore.
And I worked in one where I went to church, and I worked there so I could pay. That was the tuition for mine to go there, but it was not good. Tiffany was ready to go back to public school. So this one wasn't structured well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's just like anything else.
Yes.
There's certain areas, even where public schools are better than some areas, and
And I tell people, when they'd say, when they would say, well, I'll put my, kid in a Christian daycare instead of public or a private. And I tell them, I said, well, you've got to understand this. My daycare being public, my daycare was at home. And they could come in at any time. And if they were told any little thing, they would just pop up. And that was fine. The food program could pop in at any time, and they'd look at my menu. And I had to have if they come in during lunch, I had to have that. So the menus had to be planned. But they could not go unless it was a serious thing. They could not go to the church daycare or school. The DHR couldn't. That's Child Protective Services, or people have different names. But because of separation from church and state, there was not the regulations that should have been. I'm trying to say it. You know how I am. I try to say things, Joe. And that's really when I stopped going to that church, when things broke down and I saw things from a different angle, things that weren't right.
Well, there's false churches, that.
And it was just bad. And so anyway, I would tell people, take your child somewhere and pop in. Pop in any time of the day. And I said unannounced, because you should have access to your children at any time. And I would tell people that, and I would not, I would not tell them the church. I would not mention that. Denise said when she worked, she had a Bible on her desk, religious music playing. I played with people when they wanted prayer. Oh, prayed for people. I prayed in the middle of Walmart, at the grocery store, and gas station. Me too.
Yep.
When I worked at the trucking company, I had my Bible, and they would call me a Bible thumper, some of the truck drivers. But they treated me with respect. But I tell you what, my boss was real funny about. I had my music going, and everything was fine until his brother started working there. He had to take care of his brother, and there can always be that one person sow discord, because the other two people that worked, the other two men in dispatch, they knew Kevin even before I met Kevin, but they all respected me. And I remember one time I went by the Bible bookstore, and I saw this Bible. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it had everything, the references. And everything in it, and it was $100. Well, it was $90, and I'm like, oh, I would love that study Bible. And I was in my early 30s, and so I went into work. You guys, he's my witness. I'm going to give this testimony. I went into work, and I'd get there before my boss would. And I was sitting there working, and he said, come in here for a second. And the door always stayed open, you know, between, I was the office manager. And I went in there. He just opened his, yes, there's a dog, Bailey. She's waiting on MawMaw. Or MawMaw, are you in the kitchen?
She just walked by a little bit ago.
I don't know what she's doing. So anyway, I walked in there, and just out of the blue, he took out his back wallet, and I'm like, and he said, here is $100. $100 bill. He said, here. I said, what is this for? He said, whatever you want it for. And I said, because somebody complained about my Christian music, but they had their other music going on. And so I held that $100 bill. I said, guess what? You just bought me a Bible. I said, on the way home, I'm going to buy that Bible. So if you guys don't tell me, I mean, you know, you guys might not believe it, but you better. God is in control.
Yes.
And he will use different people. People you might not be surprised that God uses, but you know, God had control over the Pharaoh. Mm-hmm. God had control when over those that were after David. So God's in control. And if I leave anything today, a message, because today's was the tempo, the way you in music, you've got that click, click, click always. And have you stopped, or are you just pushing through? And that's what come to my mind this morning. Mm-hmm. Has everything around you caused you to absolutely stop and hide? Or are you finding something to do while you're home? Are you just trying to be just the normal? I'm not telling you guys to go out there and not use some protection. If you're going to, by all means, if you have to go to the emergency room, use common sense. But God is good. And Callie,
to me, and this is, I'm just my personal feeling, and in some of the sermons that I've listened to recently, when we're in such a fear and panic, we're giving power to the devil. And when the devil steps in, he starts taking control. So don't give him power.
What I tell people, sometimes your mind can be the devil's playground. Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm telling you guys, because Monday I wasn't feeling good. It was allergies, but I wasn't sure, because Kevin there's 4 people where he works. And all they're doing is they check his temperature. And then he has to go on. Don't matter that 4 people over there. I say over there because across the street where he works. But yeah, Monday I was sick and I didn't know what it was. And then of course you get paranoid and you get scared. And the more you get scared, the more you're not going to feel good. But you know, and last night my throat was sore. Guess what? I got up and I quit drinking the tea, but I got up and drank me some water. And my throat felt better because it was room temperature.
Yeah.
So some things.
Well, think about it. You know, it's normal this time of year. You know, We just,
allergies.
yeah, allergies and flu season. And if everyone starts panicking, that, we tend to think the worst. We're human. We tend to think the worst.
And if it almost gets to the point of hypochondriac. That's there's people they can't help it because that's a mind thing, but they live their life like that every day. So when this hit, I didn't think it was nothing, but as it grew and I found out, yes, and it's all over the world, just about it. When allergy season started, I could kind of see how somebody could be a hypochondriac. I mean, it's like, Callie, oh goodness. She says she's been social distancing for 29 years.
Yeah.
My son's been social distancing since he was 3.
See, this lifestyle is not that different for me. Because I can work for my son from home, and I still go to my son's once a week right now. I don't go that many places. I don't feel really isolated.
I don't really. I was so happy just to walk around a leisurely walk the other day, Friday, first the bank, and then leisurely through Walmart, and kind of just went through the craft section, just looked around. And maybe I shouldn't have, because then I went to Kroger and had to walk around in there, and by the time I come back, I was hurting so bad. But still, it felt normal for a minute because I was outside, the trees were blowing, the wind was blowing, everything was pretty and green. And I just stood out there and I thought, it's just normal. It feels normal. So I did my walk through Walmart, and I felt normal.
It's just really sad that so many people, I like I said, we're all concerned. There's a difference between being concerned and in a panic.
Yes.
There is a difference. I don't care who you are you're going to have some fear in your life no matter what.
Yep.
But I've seen people that are so panicked, and I think, and I shouldn't say this, but why do you bother saying you're a Christian or you go to church? Heaven's a beautiful place. And God wants us to live our life to the fullest. He doesn't, when it's our time, it's our time. That's how I feel.
Yeah, so Ian said any test we have now, it's just a warm up for the big test of all of us to look at. It's training for the future.
He's right.
Denise said she just got a Amber Alert from Griffin, Georgia.
Oh.
And everybody, I think it's human nature. When somebody is given the what they usually call the big C, when you go in and you're told that, I don't think there's anybody that would not feel a panic or a dread or scared. But you're right. Sometimes I have just felt so tired here, Joe. And it's usually when something like my brother, my father-in-law, 1 year apart. Then when my dad was laying there so sick, and then once he was gone, I would get in these depressions and wouldn't realize it. But I have been right out there at the pool area by myself and just cry out to God and say, I'm tired of being here. I'm tired of hurting. I'm tired of everything. I just want to come home. I just want to come home. So,
let's see. Joy mentioned something about, I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to bring up an ad that I seen that just really makes me upset. Well, Joy said she's not worried about herself, but worried about her granddaughters getting the virus. I've seen a couple advertisements the last couple of days that make me so angry. One of them says something about, do you realize you might have accidentally killed 5 people today?
On
Yes.
TV?
Yes. And I'm thinking, media, government, are you trying to make everyone feel guilty? Just because you go out doesn't mean you kill somebody. Doesn't mean, if you're sick, yeah, stay home. But why put people on a guilt trip?
Yeah. I mean,
First of all, when they started with this virus, they were just putting the word out there that it was us seniors were more susceptible, or people with health issues, and young people didn't have to worry about it. Now they're trying to even include animals. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to by being careful, wearing a mask, doing those things, they shouldn't put anyone on a guilt trip.
no.
Just you go out of the house doesn't mean you possibly killed 5 people. And when
That's awful. I have not seen that.
Oh, when I've seen it twice now, and it just makes me so angry.
Oh, thank you, Anne. Thank you. That's what God put us here for, to lift each other up.
It's the devil at work. It really is. So we just need to pray.
Yep.
Pray so hard and faithful.
Hey, this is what I say. I said, hug from social distance.
Right.
One of my girls I used to work with, she's young. She's like, they were all like one of my girls. And I said, hug. And we was in Walmart. She was on that end of the aisle and I was on this one. But the more we talked, we were like still, the more we talked, we got kind of closer. And I don't feel I put myself at risk. I just, for a little bit, and I told her, I said, I'm just kind of walking around because Casey's not with me. Mm-hmm. And she laughed because she used to work, well, Casey worked there too. And I said, because when he comes, he's in and he wants to go. I said, he just gets this look. He never liked people getting too much in his bubble anyway.
Right. He's more private. Yeah.
Yes, but I'm a hugger.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and so this I have to, hey, from a distance.
But at least see you're happy. That's what I want to see. Like I said, it just really bugged me day before yesterday when I went to a couple of stores, and everyone acts like, you don't have to get close to people, but you can at least take the frown off your face.
Yeah,
put a little bit of a smile and act like you're happy you're alive.
Yeah.
And that's why the more I got to thinking about it last night, I thought, I may make some enemies, but I'm making a video.
Oh,
I just thought, oh, come on, world. What's happening here? Where's our faith in the Lord?
And we're not cursed if it comes in our house. I won't feel like it's a curse, or I won't feel like it's mine. Oh, all right.
What are you talking about?
When you go out in public, and I said you've been social distancing since you were 3.
I know, that's what I told
Callie, I think
said, how
Our
are you?
world is
I said, I've been
changing so
preparing
much.
for this my whole life.
The government wants to dictate to us what we can do.
Casey.
And again, take all my remarks as my personal opinion. They're not gospel, they're my personal opinion.
Casey said when he picked up the Mexican food the other night from the restaurant, see, they're taking orders, but they're not dining in.
Right.
Oh, he asked how we were all doing. Casey said, I've been planning for this my whole life.
That's a good one.
When he was about three or so, he was really acting up at somebody's house. And it was like, Mom, you called him. And I'm like, and then he was just doing things, get in trouble. And we got in the car. I said, Bubba. And he'd be so sweet, I said, why do you do that? Why don't you let Mama talk? Why do you do that? I don't like peoples. I said, what? He said, I don't like peoples. Just you and me, Mama. Just you and me. And I said, what about Tiffany? Just me and you, Mama. Just me and you.
Joy, you're right. Actually, they're going for the one world order. I don't want to bring politics in it, but
I know it's going to happen one day. I mean, that's biblical.
The Bible says it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's biblical.
Is in the Bible.
So that's why I say you got to watch for the signs. You got to make sure that your lamp is full of oil.
Mm-hmm.
And the oil, to me, is the joy of the Lord. It's like the little kid song that I broke out and sung before. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And I'm not a singer, but so I could say, don't let the bee snuff it out. I'm going to let it shine. I won't let the bee snuff it out. I'm going to let it shine. So, it takes a lot to knock the shine. It takes a lot to knock that, to blow out that light. Because, oh, and I was so glad to see Super Dave in here yesterday. I'm looking at
there
over in,
yeah.
And but like you said, Joe, if I have to go in Kroger, I'll say, hey, Mr. Charles, how you doing this morning? Or Charles, because he don't want me to call him Mr. Who? Oh, I know I get talking that I look down and I don't. Oh my goodness. Denise, are you talking about where they said you could track it in your house by stepping in somebody's spit? Good grief. I'm telling you, it's just crazy. But like I said, when I go in, I wave at the girls and I'll say, hey, and I'm going with little Buggy, and I'll say, hey, Charles. Didn't find out that he taught math when I was in junior high school. And so I just speak to everybody and wave and air hugs. And so I'm still myself.
Yes, and that's what we should be. Really and truly, that's what we should be. Like I said, when everything is good, people talk about, going to church and being a Christian and talking about heaven. And soon as there's a tragedy, all of a sudden, where's your faith? I've always said, I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of how I die, because being a nurse, I've been with a lot of people who suffered.
Yeah.
And I'll say, I want to be a chicken. I want to go in my sleep.
And I think that's really what we all want to do.
Yeah. And so, but it's a beautiful heaven out there. Right? We're only here. This is not our real home. This is just temporary.
Yeah, and that's why when I get dreams of my family members that's gone on before me, and I know where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have the dream they were all around my brother's pond.
Mm-hmm.
And my baby brother, I saw him with my nanny, because she should take us fishing with cane poles. And so I saw them all. And you know what? Every time I see my dad, he's whole.
Yep.
He has both of his legs. He looks good. He looks like my dad did. And my grandmother, I see her as not when she had the big C, but when she was up and tending to us and cooking, and that's what they look like.
Yep.
They all look happy, and I know that's what it's going to be like.
Well, and I'll mention, once in a while I do talk about my daughter, but just because I think that people need to have encouragement, I will say, before my daughter passed away, she came to our bedroom door 3 different times before she came in bed with us and talked. And at that time, there was no internet. There was none of this stuff on TV, so she had no knowledge of any, other than going to Sunday school. And, they didn't even teach any of this, but she kept talking. And I remember I was half asleep, and I remember being in awe, thinking, I have to remember all this stuff. And the only thing, and I always said the only thing God let me remember was she was talking about angels. And apparently the angels told her that he was taking her, because she kept saying, Mommy, can I still set the Christmas tree? Can I still set the Christmas tree? But what God let me remember is she was just talking about the beautiful angels. And then the last time I told her, Cheryl, come and get in bed with Mommy and Daddy. And then when I woke up, she was dead. So God allowed her to die right next to me. But she wasn't scared. She was peaceful. She just, evidently she knew she was leaving. And we were supposed to set the Christmas tree that night. But, it was snowing in Idaho, and the tree was wet, and it was a live tree. So my husband had said, let's dry it out for the night, and then we'll set it tomorrow night.
Oh. And
so any time in my life when I've had a little doubt, because we're human, I remember this night. There is a heaven.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully I didn't upset anybody mentioning that story, but let's think positive. Let's be happy.
I guess the only thing I don't think about myself so much is, I guess my worry was over Kevin and over MawMaw. But anytime he doesn't feel good, he asks me to pray for him.
He believes, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, because there'll be times he'll say, baby, I don't feel real well, or I don't feel right. And so he'll say, will you pray for me? So, yeah, but I think the human contact of having me just touch him, and pray for him, he likes that.
If the rapture comes, we and he's a believer, you'll go up together.
Yep. Yep.
So you don't have to worry about him.
Samwana said we should take our precautions, but not stop living.
Exactly.
Not be driven by fear and try
That's
not.
what I'm trying to get across, and
Yep.
I don't know if I'm coming across like I want to, but
Yes.
I just want people to live and not stop living.
Yeah, see, Callie gets it. Callie does get it.
Yeah.
But you guys, my husband's off work, and I smell that roast. I got to check on that roast because this morning I
Yeah, I
had
haven't had my morning coffee.
see what happens
I
when
know.
you. But of all things, you couldn't sleep.
No, and that's unusual because I usually will wake up and think, oh gosh, I missed Darlene in the group. I slept right through it, and this morning I was wide awake.
And
So
it always
God wanted me to come on.
works that way, you guys. It always works that way. When God wants to let people know something,
Mhm.
He makes it happen.
And it had to be his choice, everyone, because I don't go anywhere like this.
Woman,
And especially in my robe.
I still love the robe. Look, I would have thought, oh, why is she being so fancy? Where is she going? Because when I see it on screen, it looks like a jacket.
Yeah.
It does. It looks like a stole or a jacket. So
Nice and warm. Nice and warm.
hey, she heard the red lipstick speak out to her.
No, red lipstick. But I thought, well, I don't want to take very much time, so I just slopped some makeup on and ran a comb through my hair, and here I am. So it had to be God's will.
Oh, Sawana, my grandmother, one day, she was just sitting, and I thought she was asleep, but she wasn't asleep. And she'd throw her hands up, but maybe that's where I get it from. She said, oh, thank you, Jesus. She was in a rocking chair, and she's doing her hands. She said, I just saw my mama, and I forget what she called her dad. And she said, I just saw these stairs and flowers everywhere. Nanny loved flowers. She said, just flowers forever and ever. And she said, I called out to them, and they said, it's not your time yet. Mm-hmm. So then, I mean, she was just tears running, and she was just clapping her hands and had her hand, and then doing her hands like that, praising the Lord. And she said, he let me see my mom and my dad. And I mean, she wasn't sick at that time, but you know, I think sometimes God will allow you to see some loved ones, and it gives you see something that you're looking forward to, you know, because it says, you know, to be absent of the body is to be with Him.
I've often thought, when we get to the other side, we make it to heaven, we're going to wonder why we ever wanted to stay here on earth.
I know. You know, in October, when it was on my birthday, such a hard time, and I was at the doctor's office, my rheumatologist, she said, you know that your time is, you have a certain time here, and God is supposed to be in control of how you go. I said, I know that, but the depression was so hard and so heavy at that time. And so the next time I've seen her since then, she was glad to see me in a whole different way, because I had to let go of some stuff. You know, I had to let go and let God handle it. And so from December, January, February, March. Yeah, I seen her before all this happened. So I was there in March, the early part of March. And I told her, I said, well, I know you're glad to see a different me today. And she smiled. She's from Pakistan. Beautiful. I love her. And I told her, I said, I'm better, much better. So there's still things that make me cry, I think about, but you know what? God has given me you guys.
Tears will cleanse the heart.
Each one of you guys means something to me. When I see your name, it's like I see your face in it. Oh my gosh, it makes me excited. I looked over here and Chris was on Facebook, and God, I worried that when Google Hangouts left, what am I going to do? Everybody was scrambling. They didn't know how they was going to do lives. And I was crying. I told Casey, I said, I feel crazy, but if I lose Google Hangouts, what am I going to do? Because I've grown attached to you guys. There's that love. And I was too fearful of things, but look, God increased, because not only am I able to be here, but he doubled it from what I used to do, because I'm on Facebook too. So if you think of it that way, he doubly increased my blessing. I guess that's what I could say. Because if I can stream on 2 different places, then that's double what I had.
Because you've blessed so many of us.
Well, thank
you. You know, so many blessings. So yours is going to be doubled.
It has been. It really has. I have yet to have to pay for my StreamYard, because that's been blessed. So, you know, that's where I look at it. I look at blessings through people, and not really monetary, but the you guys, every one of you. Kevin's back. I'm gonna go spend some time with him.
And thank you for having me on.
Oh, woman, I'm gonna tell Casey. Casey, look what Joe has on. I thought she'd been all fancy first thing in the morning.
No. I'm thrilled to be here. You guys are wonderful, and if you have time, and you can find I will post a link on Facebook on the video I just put up this morning. Like I said, I think people who really believe are not going to be offended by it, but I think the non-believers will be offended, and that's okay. God wanted me to do this, and I just want everyone to be positive and pray. Let's pray. As a family and a group, we're strong.
Yep.
You know, we're strong.
And if you are having one of those days, get me on Facebook, you know, and I'll pray, or we can do it face to face. And if one of us can make the other one laugh, you know what? Laughter sometimes is the best medicine.
Yep.
And I'm going to try to do this like LizzAnn does. But God bless all of you. God bless your family, your friends. And I always like to say, Lord, touch all of them out there. Those that need prayer, touch their mind, their body, and their spirit. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I love you guys, every one of you. I'll be back in the morning. Don't know what the hat will be, but guess what? I'll be here. If God's willing, I'll be here, you guys.
God bless everyone.
Don't forget, go on Facebook. Find Joe, or go on her channel, you guys. Go on Joe's channel. Josie's Place. All right, you guys. I love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.